Welcome everyone to the Real Whovians cast. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Melina. What's up, Melina?
Hi, I'm fine. You?
What's up, modern age nerd? Hated, what's up?
Modern age moustache, you need to be calling me now.
Yeah, right? My
It's
God,
terrible, but it's enough. It's enough.
it's been a long time. So,
Yeah.
tell us what we were talking about off air.
Okay, so via 4chan, always as reliable as anything, sometimes. Not usually, but sometimes. This has been reported in a couple places. I saw it on Theory's live stream this morning. And it does line up with a couple of things, as it did come out earlier than a couple of the casting leaks, particularly the Rose casting. So this was interesting, and it's talking about a guy, his friend works at Bad Wolf, as per most leaks, their friend works at Bad Wolf. But they're saying they've obviously managed to put things together. There's 3 specials coming next year. The first one possibly hitting as soon as New Year's Day, maybe even a Christmas special this year. Hence would explain why is RTD filming so far in advance, because he really is. It's very early to be filming if it's not coming out till late 2023. Like you wouldn't expect. Remember the 50th back in 2013? It was like nearly 10 years ago. I remember we were talking about this. That was so exciting at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But I remember they didn't announce filming until April of that year. So it was only 6 months, 7 months before it aired. We're talking now 18 to 20 months before it airs that they're filming.
Yeah.
So it lines up that this is going to come out a lot earlier. Now, what it is, that's the interesting part. So this guy claims that because he works at Bad Wolf, they've pre-screened the Centenary special.
Okay.
And as we know, it's 90 minutes. And believe it or not, Chris Chibnall and RTD have sort of been working together to kind of have a smooth transition.
Yeah.
And you know when you always read this drama on the internet, you think behind the scenes. We thought with Moffat years ago that people are throwing pitchforks in the production room at each other and they read the fan comments. The reality is they don't. They're actually all good friends, and the BBC are the ones who piss the showrunners off most of the time.
Yes.
Yeah, even John Barrowman at one point thought Moffat was blocking Torchwood from coming back.
Yes, remember that? Right. Because he never let him appear, right? He was like always like, he created fucking a Shilda, which was like Captain Jack.
Yeah.
You know, me, rather than put fucking Captain Jack in there, right?
Yeah. But yeah, so there's a smooth transition, and the Centenary is going to lead straight into the first special. Tennant
so, like, you said something about how this comes to be, that, what you said, the Master infects her with a Timefall virus or something?
Timefall, so this is the interesting part. I'm not sure, because I haven't watched Flux yet. I only just finished Series 12 this week.
Wow.
I'll get into that later. But
okay, so you think the Master infects her with a virus that makes her degenerate?
Isn't there something where time is a physical villain, a physical entity?
Yes, and a planet. They did that shit already, Time told her that, he took her form and said to her that in the future there's no regenerations, there's no life, there's no nothing, and the armies will go against you with their master, meaning the Master, right?
So that's where I think the Centenary sort of plays in. Now, the Doctor, upon this infection, the Doctor's infected with something called Timefall. So my guess is maybe physical time has infected the Doctor with itself. And the Doctor, as a result of Timefall's infection, is flicking through their own life, essentially. So
she's going to degenerate into previous Doctors.
Yes, but they'll look older because, you know, it doesn't make sense. The virus is hurting them, so they look
dying. Right.
Yeah. So apparently the Centenary special, why we have Ace and Tegan back, is because she regenerates into 5, 6, and 7 in the Centenary special. Which lines up with a lot of leaks I think you've reported on about classic Doctors back. And it would make sense because Chibnall's era, more than any other era, is like the classic series in a sense, and he loves the classic series.
Right.
I think he thinks that he's Cartmel with the Cartmel master plan.
Right.
So yeah, that's the big rumor on that. And
so they'll have Tegan reunited with the 5th, and they'll have Ace reunited with the 7th.
And I'm guessing Perry with the 6th.
Right.
Yeah, that's my guess. And Susan Foreman is on the way as well from the looks of the leaks.
Wow.
She's going to be saved for the 60th itself, though. on November 23rd.
So they got David Bradley, probably?
I'm not sure about that. All we know is it's looking like 5, 6, and 7 from this leak. And then 10 is going to be sort of like a temporary, permanent regeneration.
So, like, in other words, the Doctor doesn't die like anticipated. And she just stays 10.
She's infected. It's slowly killing her. She flips through a few regenerations, but then for some reason she stays on 10.
We don't know, Ryan. We're just reporting this rumor thing.
Yeah. This is from 4chan. You can find it on Theory's channel if you want to look. But
we don't know about this. Yeah.
Yeah. There's something else where. Do you remember with Capaldi? He chose the face to remind him.
Yeah.
So N's face comes on, and he's seeing it as a warning. Why do I have this face? And that's why he goes looking for Donna Noble, because he thinks it's a reminder that he has to find Donna because she might be the key to something. So that this Doctor's referred to, like the War Doctor, as the Timefall Doctor. Would make sense because Ncuti Gat was going to be 14. But
right. So Ncuti is 14.
Ncuti is 14. This is an interim Doctor, though, like a weird virus and infection the Doctor has that's called the Timefall infection.
Right.
Which adds a couple of things together, which is good. And then so the first special is an alien invasion present day. We've seen from the filming pics, obviously. There's an awesome shot of the Doctor wheeling Wilf into the TARDIS.
Yes,
which is awesome because I never thought we'd pick up with Wilf again after all these years.
I'm so happy about that, by the way.
What a gift! What a gift, hey?
That is a gift.
Yeah. So the leak is saying it's 3 alien invasions per each special, in different times.
One of them is probably the Daleks, I'm sure.
Of course.
Another one might be the Cybermen, maybe. We don't know.
I'm assuming that might be the case, yeah. And the Master, look, obviously he loves John Sim the most, Russell T Davies.
Yes, we know that.
I do like Sacha Dhawan, though. I think he's a very good Master.
But I'm saying I would love David Tennant's Doctor to say to Sacha Dhawan, you don't think I'm going to fall for this timeless child garbage, do you? And then it pisses off Sacha Dhawan to regenerate back into Sim because he's going to revisit old faces too.
Well, we still don't have a confirmation, though, that John Sim turned into Missy. I mean, John Sim could have turned
That's another thing. Right. Yeah. We don't know that for sure. But we also don't know if... See, I always believed that the Master, after regenerated from Sim, there was one before that. And I always said that Toby Jones was probably the Master transitioning from the Dream Lord into Missy because he sort of wanted to be friends with the Doctor and he sort of wanted to help him. And the biggest example that it wasn't the alien pollen was the fact that when they were all like basically dead on the floor, the Dream Lord piloted the TARDIS. So a hologram's not going to pilot the TARDIS. Hologram is not a hologram. He's real. And he just moved the TARDIS console, whatever. He's real. So
that's something else I was going to mention to you, going back to Series 5. I don't know if you remember this, Melina. But when Series 5 came out, Joe was obsessed with the idea, why weren't there any ducks in the duck pond?
Right.
And Moffat just explained this. He said that there weren't any ducks because the crack wiped away ducks from all of the earth.
Right, all the earth. Right.
And he said he was going to talk about that in the finale, but the length was too long, so they had to cut out that scene. But yeah, you go. There's a Moffat plot hole cleared up.
And Moffat tends to put shit out of place to explain things that he forgets. Like there was this scene was it Under the Lake or Before the Flood, where the Doctor has a problem with his emotions and they're making cue cards. Remember that with Clara?
Yeah.
And he said, and he made a reference that, Missy just created new bodies with the Nethersphere, so she can never die and regenerate. She could always be Missy. Remember that?
Yeah.
Now, when she died, her consciousness goes into the Nethersphere, and she creates energy to create another body for Missy, to be Missy. So when technically she dies in the fucking Cybermen thing, her consciousness will go through fucking intergalactic Wi-Fi back into fucking the Nethersphere, and she'll be Missy again, supposedly, unless there's a weird twist where, yes, she's Missy again, but the body is left there and regenerates anyway into Sacha Dhawan. So you got two Masters at the same time.
Jeez, it's just insane, isn't it?
I just tend to go all over the place. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But anyway.
That's what I'm trying to say. That the difference between RTD and Moffat is RTD always wrapped his stories up every season.
he was the writer, as a writer can be, explained
great.
it perfectly. Moffat just went all over the fucking place.
And the
Didn't make any sense.
Yeah, but
back.
I'm
Oh, wait,
sorry. No, just quickly. I'm sorry to interrupt. Just quickly, that the difference between Moffat and Chibnall is that even though Moffat was all over the place, I consider an organized chaos.
Well, yeah, he was. No, I'm saying he was excellent, but still, Chibnall just doesn't give a shit.
Right, that's the difference. Like
flat out.
Moffat was fun and was organized chaos versus Chibnall was just.
Chibnall will break your fucking heart, but then give you a gift anyway.
All over the damn place. Like he was just throwing all kinds of shit, to the wall and see.
Like Chibnall will make the Doctor regenerate into a bear, an animated bear.
Yeah.
And just be like, oh fuck.
Yeah. And I'm sorry to interrupt modern age. I'm sorry. What's your name? What's your name?
Hayden.
Hayden. Okay, go ahead. You were saying, please.
I was saying what's going to be interesting with the new RTD era, because we love the RTD era. That's really what got us into Doctor Who on another level. Because we always
as a kid, I
always loved it.
I loved it.
You loved it on another level since 2000.
Yeah, always. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
The thing about the RTD era is it was always very progressive, and he was flamboyant, and he had gay characters, and it was it was left leaning, and it was very woke in today's terms. The difference was we didn't have the internet where people would complain and be angry about things. So I'm going to be interested, because if now it is a bit quote woke, will people react differently to where they would have acted in 2005, where it was woke, but no one cared because it was just fun entertainment, and we didn't have Twitter. So I'm going to be interested to see if we overreact at anything RTD does. That's a little bit.
We tend to inflate things like it'll be so much better than it actually becomes, right?
Yeah, but I think
we also have said stuff on here that became true. Like we said, wouldn't it be cool if the TARDISes were lined up together, and then we seen David Bradley's TARDIS or Capaldi's TARDIS or David Tennant and John Hurt's TARDIS right? So even us talking about Star Wars, we said that it would be a horror movie.
Everything
we said. I said, if they had a Darth Vader movie, it'd be like a horror movie where he'd just be wiping them out. They'd be running from him. And guess what? We got fucking Rogue One, and we got that fucking exact scene of it being like a horror.
Would come back.
I did say that, and I said that Alfred Molina will definitely come back too. I did say that.
I'm still on a high from Spider-Man. I don't know about you, but that's like the most satisfying thing I've ever seen.
I said before I die, I'll see that. I'm definitely going to see them return, and I'm happy about that.
But that's the thing, is a lot of these, the Marvel formula and the current shared cinematic universe in cinema, that came from Doctor Who in 2005, way back to Series 4 with Journey's End. That's where that all came from. Yeah. So
they were always talking about universes, like even though they had in classic Doctor Who, there was a parallel universe, right? They hinted about that, but they always talked about it. Like they said that there was a void at the end of the universe. There's a void, right? And that the Time Lords were traveling to the void, and the Daleks were in this special ship, and there was so much space in between that to the next universe that it was just so long. It was like the universe times 2. So they've been traveling through this void, trying to reach another universe, right? So that was always the thing. And then we've seen parallel universes, and we've seen
Chibnall's era is so boring now. Like it's literally. Because watching Series 12, I don't know about you guys, but like it's just everyone's always like Ryan, for example, was like, Doctor, where are you going? And the Doctor will be like, wow, it's a gun. And then, that's it. That's the episode. And there's nothing exciting about what's coming.
Hey, fam, this is my team. This is my crew. Same shit every episode. Same thing like Sea Devils. This is my fam. This is my team. Am I doing good?
Running down a corridor. Like, how they... it's always.
He used to make fun of that about going down the corridor, and he fucking did the same shit.
He does the same thing now.
Same thing
that he complained about for years.
Yes, he was. Did you ever see that video, Melina, where he's this fucking teenage kid? He's all dressed in this fucking suit. Yeah,
I did.
And he's like, "Fucking Doctor sucks" and shit like that, and and then this son of a bitch gets the keys to the kingdom.
Yeah.
Moffat had to get him drunk, right, to sign the paper. I remember that. He bought all the booze.
Moffat must have hated
Moffat wanted out. Moffat wanted out.
Yeah.
So he got him drunk. They signed the papers when he's drunk, and then he's like, "That's it, it's yours. Fuck you." It's like, okay. And then Tristan was like, "All right, it's mine." I'm not gonna have any villains return. And then it's like, oh shit, this sucks. And then they bring the Daleks back.
It's sad, isn't it? Because they were building, RTD was building the show up to have all these spin-offs, these big overarching stories. And then Moffat came along and he tried, but I think the BBC limited their budget after a while. Sorry, my
yeah. Moffat, they started doing shit with Moffat, and he started getting annoyed. Like they said, like they made him, they forced him to put Matt Lucas as a companion. Like after he appeared, and they said you're definitely having him, right? And he didn't want that because he had a whole plan for fucking. So that's why he never gave him that many lines.
But
he was being a dick about it.
But when did the decline start to happen? When did Doctor Who start to kind of fall off a little bit? Was it when
he did? What happened was there was also a thing with Neil Gaiman too. Like Neil Gaiman was regarded as one of the greatest episodes of all time, and then something happened. He lost the script, and then Moffat interfered with his script, and that's why Nightmare in Civil was fucking weird, right? And then with the 50th, they got mad at him, Moffat. And even Russell T Davies, they had a little conflict, remember? Because Moffat was doing some weird shit with the 50th, and he wanted to have it that the Ninth Doctor fucking blew up Gallifrey, and Christopher Eccleston was actually going to film, right? Yeah. He was actually hired, and then he read the script, and he's like, what do you mean I destroyed fucking Gallifrey? And kids and women, right? And he's like, absolutely not. Like, I just regenerated and I met Rose. That's the whole point. Not that I've been around for fucking thousands of years. I just regenerated. I looked at my face for the first time in her fucking mom's apartment, and I just regenerated. That was the whole point. And Moffat tried to turn him into a fucking creep. That's why Moffat also hated Christopher Eccleston, that he always talked shit, right? About Christopher Eccleston. And he fucking blackballed him too. Like he was BBC boy. You right? So
Helena, what's funny is if you look at us talking today, well, when the 50th came out, our big gripe with the 50th was the whole Series 7 finale was they're stuck in the Doctor's time stream. How are they going to get out? Because they were locked in there. Like, how are we going to get out? Like, we can never leave.
You got to get the fuck out. Right.
If you jump in there, you can never escape. And then the 50th starts and they're out. They're just back to normal life. And it's like
no explanation.
But we actually just found out recently why that was. Because the 50th originally was meant to be that the Doctor was stuck in his time stream and no one can remember the Doctor, and all his companions had to get together to remember him, and then he'd escape the time stream. But apparently it was too confusing for the general audience, so they said, just do your own thing. So he scrapped the original scripts, and he said that he had no idea what to do. It was actually, I think it was 3 weeks before filming started. He said
no fucking idea.
So he's just said, quick, get David Tennant because he's free, get Billy Piper, let's just do whatever.
I'll just make up a Doctor and fucking put him in between. Fucking get the 8th Doctor because people wanted to see his shit. Right.
He had no idea.
He did it like on the fly.
Yeah.
On the fly, literally, Moffat just fucking created shit out of his ass.
Because
that's why it got so weird.
Yeah.
Because he didn't even get the Zygons right. Because remember how they had a whole theory about the Zygons possessing and they had to be cooked up and all these different, right? He just fucking fucked that shit up too with the Zygons.
Yeah, he did. Because we talk about Series 14 years in advance. Like right now, we're talking about what's going to happen in Series 15. But the writers don't think about it till 3 weeks before filming's meant to start.
Right.
So
he did so many fucking weird shit.
Are they really fans
look at Moffat had, if you remember, Moffat had written a whole season, right, for Matt Smith to stay. In his brain, thinking he was going to stay. He went to Radio Times. He's like, oh, Madame Kavarian? Oh, absolutely. I'm going to explain her. She's just fucking coming back next series. It's going to be fucking, remember that? And we're like, we did cast on it. We're like, oh, this is great. He's going to fucking explain Madame Kavarian and everything. Then you find out that fucking Matt Smith's fucking leaving. And they explained it.
He was actually contracted for Series 8, Matt Smith.
Yeah.
And something happened when he went off to shoot Lost River with Ryan Gosling.
He made fucking a lot more money than... Yeah, he made more money. Well, no. Yeah. The first movie he made was with Eva Green.
Yeah.
Clone or what? He made more money with this fucking shit movie than he did in 2 fucking years, right? And he only filmed it for 8 weeks, right, Caden? So he got a taste of fucking Hollywood money. And then when he made that other fucking movie, it's like, holy shit. But he didn't realize, this is the point, is he was a young kid, right? He doesn't realize that, yes, it was a nice payday. But unless you build yourself as an actor, you ain't gonna get fucking roles. So he's thinking money-wise, I'm gonna jump at these movies. I'm gonna be in every movie there is. No, that happened. So he fucking made a mistake. This is why Jenna Louise Coleman was fucking heartbroken too, because she was basically, maybe they were gonna date. Remember that we were saying they were close and everything, chemistry. She was heartbroken that he was fucking leaving too, and he fucking left, and then he basically fucked up. It was a fuck up because
the 50th, when he finished filming the 50th. I don't know if you remember, Melina, when he cut his hair off.
Yeah, he cut his hair.
I did.
Shaved his fucking head.
He was talking
he
in
shaved
that.
His...
Yeah.
I think he did. Did he do it for the Terminator movie? Did he shave his head?
No, it was the other thing. River.
Yeah, Lost River.
Ah, right.
But they did that in one scene where he was bald in the TARDIS to show it off.
Well, because that was in May, because they shot the 50th in May of 2013. Then he went to shoot Lost River and The Gap. Now,
and they were pissed that he shaved his head. They were fucking pissed.
Yeah, because if you watch the 50th, it's very clear they intended for him to be the future of Doctor Who.
Right.
He's the Doctor now, but then he dies the next episode. It's so weird.
Right. He was supposed to be all the doctors. He's the one that solved it. He's the one that saved Gallifrey. He's the one that made the decision, not the War Doctor. He said, no, we ain't doing this because Clara's right. And he pressed the thing where the button went down. It wasn't the War Doctor. It was him. He made the decision to fucking save Gallifrey and do all that shit. And he's the fucking best doctor there is, the longest doctor there is.
And then he dies the next week.
Right.
He dies. Because
exactly.
He shot Lost River in, I think it was between June and July.
Mm-hmm.
And then, correct me if I'm wrong on this, they shot the Christmas special August 2013, September 2013, just before the 50th aired. It was a couple months before that. And I think he was still at that point even talking about doing Series 8 in August 2018. Or was that when they announced Capaldi? Was that in August or September?
Wait, go back. What was it?
When he shot the 50th, it was around August, September 2013.
I'm not sure.
Now I'm looking.
When did they announce Capaldi?
Oh, because he was in the 50th with the fucking eyes. Remember? He
was in the time of the Doctor.
Well, they shot that during.
The Day of the Doctor. Well, yeah, time of the Doctor too. He was in the Day of the Doctor, which is the.
And Matt Smith was also in Time of the Doctor.
And then
Matt Smith was in the first episode of Capaldi's. Right.
Well, it's just a pickup shot they did, because that Capaldi shot, I think they only filmed that like the week before the 50th aired. They just added it in really quickly.
Yeah.
But I think up until that summer, when Comic-Con was on, when they talked about the 50th at Comic-Con, I don't know if it was even announced Matt Smith was leaving then.
It was. Well, I remember when I announced it on here, and people didn't believe it, and I got death threats. Remember that? People were still like, "You don't know what the fuck you're talking." Right, but remember how people were so mad at me, and they're like, "You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Matrix Lord. He's not leaving. They just did a Radio Times article. He's going to do a whole other season. You're full of shit. You're a piece of shit. YouTuber, go fuck yourself." This is what they were telling me. They were death threats and everything, and then all of a sudden, people are like, "Shit, he's right."
The internet's awful, isn't it?
Same with Peter Capaldi. I've been saying for so long. I even started a hashtag. Peter Capaldi deserved better when he was fired. And I'm still called all kinds of names. Even as far as calling me a flat earther. Can you believe it?
Oh my god!
I am not making this up. I swear. This person actually asked me if I believe the Earth is flat. I have no idea what the hell that has anything to do with me saying that Peter Capaldi was fired. But to have somebody, and there's been confirmations, a lot of sources, but this to me is very important, and this person who is a Jodie fan, and she's a friend of mine, and she's one of the nicest people I've ever met. We had like 3 hours discussion. We talked about, like, I guess you could say, our sides. I talked about my experience. She talked about hers, and we had like this nice conversation that helped us kind of see things a little bit more further, from just one side. So the point is that she told me, and she said, like, I can confirm to you that Peter Capaldi was fired. And I said, you know how many times since I said this respectfully to her, and I say this respectfully because this is important. You as a Jodie fan, and so I understand. it's just I had so much attack from it, and the important thing is why it's coming from a Jodie fan is because they accused me of starting a riot. I'm making it up just because I hate Chitma and I hate Jodie Whittaker, which just has nothing to do with it. It really doesn't. And this bullshit saying like Chitma asked Peter
people
Capaldi,
are cruel, though.
it's a lie.
People are very cruel.
That's an awful thing.
Yeah,
it's
people are very cruel. Just fucking attacking people when they're trying to cover the news. It's like, how you doing, Marty? Trying to get your word in.
It is morning time. I literally just got out of bed.
Oh my gosh, it's Marty. Hi.
Hello, Melina. How are you?
I'm fine. You?
I am doing good. I sat up to 3 a.m. Well, my time watching for filming, like to see if anything's happening. And yeah, no Peter Capaldi, but hey, I just lost a couple hours of sleep, but I don't care. No Peter Capaldi.
He's on his phone. I think he's on his phone, Peter Capaldi.
I hope he is, because what they were saying last night on set was apparently Tennant came back and they asked everybody to clear off, and they had like Tennant. They had scenes with Tennant like outside the TARDIS.
Yeah, Connor was talking about this before. He has a new sonic screwdriver and everything.
Flipping hell.
Yeah, Connor just was. We did a test before this one.
Marty just jumped in here. I was wondering if you had heard what we were just talking about at the start of the show.
I had not. Please let me know.
Did you see the leak about the Timefall Doctor?
I did not know.
No, tell him.
Okay, so I'll just recap, because we didn't. I don't think we finished.
Now, just keep it. Take it with a grain of salt, because it's a big rumor. But
it's a big rumor, but it came out just early enough before the Rose news came out from the BBC. So basically, it's saying that Jodie in the Centenary special is infected with a virus called Timefall.
From the Master.
From the Master, it causes her to flick between older faces till it kills her. So in the Centenary special, she flicks into 5, 6, and 7's bodies.
Older versions of they're older because of the virus.
Like it degenerate.
They're the proper age, like they're the actual. They're no CGI. It's like older 5th Doctor, 6th Doctor, 7th Doctor, right?
They're sort of like new bodies, but they're not. They're the faces of the old bodies, but with new regeneration energy. And the episode ends with her regenerating into Tennant on a cliff face on Gallifrey.
Like, in other words, instead of dying, she stays in David Tennant's form.
But here's the interesting part. Apparently, when she regenerates into Tennant, the final, because she's standing over the destroyed ruins of Gallifrey, and she regenerates into Tennant. And when she pops into Tennant, Gallifrey's gone, and there's just a crater in the ground. The whole citadel's gone, and it ends on the cliffhanger. So apparently, the leak says there's 3 specials. This Doctor, which is Tennant, is referred to as the Timefall Doctor because it's infected with Timefall. And apparently, there's 3 invasions of Earth. And the final, there's a prophecy, as RTD does. There's a prophecy that at the end of the Earth, there will be a single blooming flower left with all the knowledge of the universe and the Earth. And one person on the Earth is destined to receive that information, and that's supposed to be Rose, Donna's daughter, which goes flower, the rose. And it's interesting because apparently Rose is actually Ncuti Gatwa's companion.
Right.
Staying on, which is good because RTD's new era from the leaks, it's sounding like he's building a big universe again. So characters coming back won't just be stopping in for one episode. It's going to be like MCU where everyone's around all the time.
But also keep in mind the fact that one, Donna Noble had regeneration energy. 2, she had a baby.
Oh, that's it. Sorry, I didn't mention that. Apparently, the memories of the Doctor and the energy went into her baby. And Rose knows the Doctor.
Yeah, I heard that.
So another thing why Gallifrey will probably save the Doctor is because technically Rose's daughter is a Time Lord because she'll have 2 hearts, she'll have regeneration energy, and it will save the Time Lords as well as Earth because they basically can regenerate, basically.
Here's something I can tell you. I know someone who was working on it, who was working on the past few days because I've been chatting to them on Twitter, and they told me about the London filming, and they told me about Tennant and Tate, and they told me about Yasmin Finney. I heard about Yasmin Finney in March before it was even announced, but they told me last night. Now, obviously, take this with a truckload of salt. They told me last night who the villain was for the 60th, so I don't know if you want to hear it or not.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come on.
Is that even a question?
So
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Celestial Toymaker.
Dale.
The Celestial Toymaker. The Celestial Toymaker.
I'm sorry, I ruined your shit. We did that. We did a cast about that yesterday.
Yes.
How would that work?
Because apparently there's scenes where, see in the background where they've decorated the whole set, there's circus posters all around the place, and supposedly one of the shots they filmed yesterday was Tennant looking at one of these circus posters, like sort of like looking at it alongside Donna. So there's like speculation around that it's going to be the
just a educational piece for people not knowing who the Celestial Toymaker is, right? You want to say it more, or do you want to say it, nerd? He's basically a Time Lord.
Yeah.
That in the old school Doctor Who series, that I think the Doctor left him, he was shrunk down and into his own TARDIS or something, right? And
he
was trapped.
He looked a lot like James
trapped.
Buffy.
He was trapped. The Celestial Toymaker shrunk inside his own TARDIS, right, or something like that. Right, and he couldn't figure out how to get out. Like he couldn't. He was stuck, right? So he probably, if the Time Lords are dead, then it's only the Master and the Celestial Toymaker, and maybe the Ronnie, if the Ronnie's running around. I don't know, but so it would make sense for him to somehow get out of there and have revenge against the Doctor. Excuse me.
It's just I just wondered last night what the whole thing, why they cleared all the fans away. They cleared all the fans away last night about. Because
they don't want him to see it. He's got a new Sonic. He's got all this shit going on. They don't want him to see it. Plus, they had that guy that was fucking up filming. Remember?
Some like anti-BBC.
Yeah, what an asshole. Yeah.
They're supposed to be filming. They had a documentary crew there. Apparently, Doctor Who Confidential's back.
Yes. Well, this is why it would make sense for the Celestial Toymaker, because more than likely Russell T Davies needs to educate the new fans who the Celestial Toymaker is. So they would do a whole goddamn fucking special to reintroduce people to the Celestial Toymaker before this fucking airs, so that way you know who the hell he is. And so they'll probably re-show the episodes and everything.
This is why you kept going with your videos over the years, because Doctor Who was going to get exciting one day again.
Yes.
And here we are.
I didn't stop completely, right. People, I disappeared. People thought, like, that some people didn't know who I was because I was gone for a little bit. They thought I was a food critic, a donut critic, a pizza critic, soda critic, water critic. Meanwhile, I have thousands and how many thousands? Thousands. I'm supposed to be Guinness Book of World Record about Doctor Who. I have more podcasts on Jodie than anybody in history, plus Doctor Who in general. It's not just a Real Whovians cast. It's been everything show. We talked about Doctor Who Fire, videos in general. I probably have like literally 6,000 videos on Doctor Who because I have 11,000 plus videos on my one YouTube channel. One. And I have multiple.
My thing is, though, going forward, obviously RCD he'd up the ante every season, like there'd be a bigger threat and it would be the collapse of everything, the collapse of what could he possibly do now if he's done everything? Is it going to be a multiverse storyline going forward?
I told you what they should do, which they're not going to do now, because now we know what happened to Perry. If you saw the Blu-ray, right? You saw that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said, oh, maybe Perry will be a villain because he just fucking left her there. And no, she's a fucking hero and trained up people fighting. The biggest episode would be is that the Doctor had to face off against our most beloved companion that turned evil. That he would have to defeat a companion, but didn't want to, but had to.
Adam from Series 1.
No, fuck that guy. That guy sucks. Fuck that guy. I'm sorry, but he's not. Listen, he's not counted as a companion because the Doctor never chose him as the companion. Rose did, and that was supposed to be sort of a boyfriend type. She liked him and shit because she was moving on from Mickey. So he's not a companion. Period. Just like you don't count the two people that traveled with Capaldi and Under the Lake before the flood. He went with these two people that died. Remember, they're not companions. No.
And Shielder's not a companion either.
No, because when she asked, he's like, "No, screw you. You suck."
I hope we get Handles back. I was thinking about this the other day. I really want to see Handles again.
Remember Handles? Shit. Well, Chameleon.
I hope they go back.
I'm still waiting for the Black Guardian to come back. There was this villain that the Doctor faced off in the classic series called the Black Guardian, right? So we've been fucking trying, right? And the Black Guardian said we will have our final encounter in the future. So this was a big villain, like Master, Black Guardian, right? So this guy is supposed to fucking come back at some point. So, and he almost did under Chibnall, but it was those two fucking people that were related to the Black Guardian that the Doctor kicked their ass. Remember that? Did you see? Oh, you didn't even see that episode.
Do you know who I'm waiting for?
Yeah.
You saw that episode? Okay.
I had the Key to Time box set when I was 12. It was
the new one with Jodie Whittaker. I'm talking about.
Oh no.
There's a villain that's related to the Black Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that the Doctor kicks their ass. Yeah.
Oh, I will while I'm
check
here,
that out.
while we're on, I'll do my quick ranking of Series 12 because I just finished it.
Wow!
You guys are like Series 12. We forgot about that. Look, I'm going to put it out there. I've said this to you for a while, and you think I'm an idiot, but I like the Timeless Child twist.
Okay, so good night,
bye. That, bro.
I think it's so ballsy. I think it's so ballsy of Chibnall to do it because how many multiverses are there? The Doctor could have been around in every billion universes ever before they got to this universe. And
his favorite episode was the Brain of Morbius. We know that now, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and trying to explain this, time is not a straight line. So if you're having another duel, so there's a guy called Morbius. If you don't know who he is, Melina, right? There was a guy called Morbius, right? But I'm not talking about Morbius from Spider-Man. I'm talking about Morbius from Doctor Who, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there was this asshole Time Lord. They said, fuck this guy, right? They fucking cast him out, right? And they did this sort of Frankenstein-type episode where Morbius's brain is this scientist had found Morbius and put his brain inside this thing, right? So the point is that this guy's trying to come back to life fully and get revenge against the Time Lords for fucking him over, right? So they had a time duel where they're looking in each other's brain, showing off how many incarnations there have been, right? But what people don't understand is you're looking at it like a straight line. Like, you're not realizing that, like we've seen, where the Doctor has encountered himself. Like, the first Doctor saw the second Doctor, the third Doctor, the fifth Doctor, and the 12th Doctor, right? So subconsciously, the memory's in there, right? The Doctor doesn't remember because of time. He can't remember, right? Because we'll fuck everything up. So when he's having the time duel, you could have had the 4th Doctor met the 20th Doctor, right? You could say from Big Finish. You don't know. So he's seeing all these incarnations of himself. But back then, people mistook that as, there was a thing that when the writers did that, they basically said they had no plan for this. They were just fucking with the whole point that what if there was other Doctors out there? But there never was. They just wanted to fuck with people. They had no plan. Chibnall took it a whole completely different way, saying that all those visions were Doctors before the first. They weren't doing that. They were just being shit disturbers in the fucking 70s, 80s, right? They were being assholes, these writers. So they're just being a bunch of dicks, putting something in the episode to kind of fucking fuck people up and be like, oh shit, right? Never meant for this to happen. And Chibnall pulled this fucking episode out of the fucking dirt. And it's like, this shit's fucking canon. And there's fucking... So what they did was the writers and the crew members all dressed up like fucking Victorian garb and all kinds of shit, trying to make it like they were different fucking Doctors. And it wasn't really real, right? But this guy Chibnall makes it where it's fucking canon. Like they're fucking before the first, which people having a heart attack, and then he throws fucking the fugitive doctor in there, right? Joe Martin, which people love.
Fugitive Doctor. Where does that fit in? Do you buy into the season 6B theory?
Well, here's the thing. I did a whole. I don't know if you saw. I did a collage on the Real Whovians Gets Interactive, right? I placed her because I had to put her somewhere, right? I either feel that because I don't want them to go back to say that the second Doctor got shot and then she became the Doctor, and then they put it back to the second Doctor to make it with third, because then that would technically make her like the third Doctor. So I wouldn't want to ruin. So I would say either the shit that went down that we don't know about with David Tennant, remember, where he did all this weird shit before he was supposed to go to the final adventure. And then there's also the traumatic experience that the 11th Doctor did where he lost the ponds, right? Where when we see him next, he's in a different outfit. The fucking TARDIS is different. He's retired. And the Paternoster gang are just running the shit, right? So either something happens. Let's just say it's Matt Smith, right? Matt Smith, after the thing, something happens, he gets killed, he becomes Joe Martin Doctor for the fucking division. Then they put him back the way it is, and then he's fucking in the past with a different TARDIS, right? Different design. So I place Joe Martin as either between Tennant and Smith, or Smith and like after Smith, like in other words, because that's the only thing I can think of. That because there's stuff that we didn't see. It was like sort of a time jump from Angels Take Manhattan to the fucking Snowman. You know
the only thing was that she had the round things in the TARDIS that would have put it.
But also the fact that well, the TARDIS desktop theme could be changed. But the whole point is that there was the memory worm that erased the memory. That they could have used the memory worm to erase the Doctor's memory of being Joe Martin Doctor.
Well, Chibnall has apparently said he knows where she is placed in the timeline.
No, he said he doesn't know where she's placed. No, he said flat out he doesn't know. He said flat out it's just in the gaps. He said flat out he didn't even think that far. He has no fucking idea where she is.
Do you think he does know though? Because I feel like he has planned his run out.
I think he's a fucking hack, and I think he fucking does no shit because the
first thing you would do before you would even attempt to write that character is know where in the timeline she is.
No, because look at the shit he wrote. He wrote that fucking Tim Shaw or whatever fucking Shimzo, whatever, right? He's fucking 1 minute he's there, and then he brings it back as a senior citizen, 3,000 years old, to fight the Doctor, Graham, and fucking Ryan. With the most shittiest fucking cliffhanger you could ever think of that he even admits is the most shittiest. That's why they had to change that it was the season finale to make it that the fucking special was the season finale because it sucked so bad.
Yeah, that was terrible.
The Battle of Ranskor Ab Kolos, which, first of all, don't ever fucking create an episode you can't pronounce because then it's going to be a forgettable fucking episode.
That's the problem with Series 12, though, as I was watching. You've got 3 companions, and we never actually get to know them. We're too busy worrying
about... you got to know everybody but Yaz, because he fucking hated Yaz's character.
We're too busy...
And everybody loved Yaz.
Characters, right? You know, we always meet random characters every episode wherever we go. And we're too busy worrying about them that we don't even know what's going on with the companions.
But the biggest thing was is that we always got so much shit about them but Yaz. She was a shitty fucking cop. Then they made it that she was the best cop in the fucking universe. But how could she be the best cop in the universe if she's traveling in the TARDIS? So that didn't make any sense. And then she's fucking better than a cop. She's a fucking intergalactic fucking investigating Sherlock Holmes fucking doctor wannabe that do weird shit. It's like, what? What? That she's so smart that she could survive without the Doctor, living with fucking making money and what?
What's gonna happen to her? Now that
she's gonna get a fucking memory wipe, and then she's gonna find a pizza on her fucking table. That's what's gonna happen.
She's gonna be there, and it's gonna be like all soppy about her poor Jodie.
That stupid trailer is real. They're all gonna get their memories fucking wiped.
Poor Jodie will generate, and then Tennant will appear, and they'll be like, "Who the fuck are you?" I'll just kick her in the car.
Either she's gonna croak, or she's gonna get her memory wiped. I don't see her just leaving.
Nah, it'd be stupid if she just left.
She's just gonna get fucking wiped. Because she was wearing a fucking cop uniform. It's like, okay.
You see, what should happen, in my opinion, what I would love to see is
she should join Torchwood, basically.
No, not even that. Where she's trapped and Jodie's coming together, and the next thing the master hits her with a tissue compression inhibitor. Bye bye.
Or she gets left like fucking Perry on a planet with Pating or some shit.
I don't think it matters. I think like RTD's walked in and he's like, "It's
you know why it doesn't matter." You know why it doesn't matter? Because Chibnall had no intention of having a romance with those two. And the fans did. Well, not the fans. Some fans. Like this really small percentage.
The stands. The
stands. So they decided, wouldn't it be cool if we said that Yasmin Khan is like the love of the Doctor's life more than River? And I'm like, wait a minute, how many episodes are you going to do to build this up? How many episodes are you going to do to build this up? 1? How does that make sense?
I don't know. I'd be happier if Yasmin Khan was the love of my life over River Song. She's, just a bit nicer to be around. River's trying to kill you every 3 seconds. It's a bit
but she got over that after a while.
But let me.
After she died, right?
Yeah.
Can I say something as a shipper? Not a Jasmine shipper. As a shipper. Someone who enjoys all this romance and all that stuff, this Jasmine thing is absolutely the most random and absolutely thrown there, there's no romantic chemistry. There's no chemistry. There's no build up. It's nothing like. If we're gonna compare with women, all right, in this case, let's put it because before people jump in and say homophobic. Look at Madame Vastra and Jenny.
Right.
That is, you can tell that there was a romantic tension.
They built that shit up.
And then they have chemistry, and you can tell that they really love each other, and it shows, and it's proven. It's done respectfully and beautifully by Moffat, but with Jasmine, it's just absolutely thrown in there. It's boring. I see no connection. I see nothing.
Listen, even Moffat. Remember how Moffat hated fucking the character Rose Tyler?
Yeah.
And every fucking episode he tried to create a new girlfriend for the Doctor rather than it be Rose Tyler. So you remember how he did the girl in the fireplace? And under Russell T Davies, he did it so well that the Doctor was in love with Madame de Pompadour so much that he said, fuck it. He left Rose hanging, right? He left her. He left Rose and Mickey in the TARDIS with no intention of how to save them, to save Madame de Pompadour, right? And he was willing to live out his life, the long path, the long way, living with her until she died. He was in love with her, flat out.
And then he met River Song in the Silence in the Library.
Right. And then it's like, you know my name. The only time I give my name out is I'm in love with you and shit.
But with Yaz, they set up, I was watching, is it Praxius or was it Orphan 55? She was into Ryan.
Yes. That was the whole thing.
Ryan.
Since episode 1, the girl fell to earth. She was in love. She was not a bisexual. She was fucking straight as a fucking arrow, and she fucking loved Ryan. Even the episode Orphan 55, she was jealous of that second girl interest picking up Ryan.
Yeah.
So it's bullshit. It's bullshit. So
even if she was bisexual, the problem is that she was never into the Doctor for the first 2 seasons.
No.
It was just random at the start of
Flux. The Doctor was always a man. So the Doctor was into Yaz because the Doctor's like, Yaz? Tia always fancied Yaz. Didn't like men, so he liked Yaz. The Doctor did like Yaz. Even if he's in a female body, he's not gay. He's just always the Doctor. That's the whole point. The Doctor's not gay because he's an alien, so he doesn't go by fucking human terminology. So the Doctor's never liked romantically a man, so he's always liked females. So even if he's in a female body, he's still gonna like females.
But he doesn't mind a kiss from Captain Jack, let's be honest.
Well, no, that's kind of what got Chris Beckson pissed off too, because he was against that shit. But he did it, but he was not happy about it. Yeah, no. He didn't go for that shit at all. I
find that stuff.
He was not happy with that shit at all. Yeah, he was not happy.
I find that stuff to be fun, but like when it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. Like, Yaz was given no subplot whatsoever. She was into Ryan, and then all of a sudden she had nothing to do, and then she was into the Doctor. You know what I mean?
Her character's so fucked up.
Chibnall bit off more than he could chew when it came to companions, because his favourite era of the show is Peter Davison's era with 3 companions, and he thought, "Oh shit, I can recreate that."
Yes.
But no, it did not. It did not fly.
He couldn't do it right because he knew what the fuck he was doing. Because
here's
the thing: you want to know how much he's a great writer when he was by himself writing for Moffat, but then when he became his own showrunner, nobody could tell him, "Hey, you suck." Right?
But
because
the show's the lowest it's ever been. Like financially, statistically, no spin-offs. 10 episodes every 2 years.
Oh, got the worst with him. But here's another example, right? How is it you have complete strangers that just survived the woman who fell to Earth, right? And these people, Graham, Ryan, and Yaz, right? She almost kills them. They fucking get transported in space. They could have been dead. Thank God for that oxygen bubble, and they were on different ships, right? But why would they follow her? Why would they be like, "Oh yeah, we believe in you, Doctor"? You don't even know who the fuck she is, right? Oh, you just want to go home, maybe. So you're like, "Oh, let's just humor this fucking chick just to get her ass home." But at the first sign, they were going to dump her. Remember, Graham, Ryan, except for Yaz, they were going to dump. They're like, "Ah, we're home, thanks, peace out." And then it was the arachnids in the UK, and then Yaz is like, "You want to come over?" And she's like, Yaz, remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. But here's another question for you. This made me uncomfortable when watching Series 12, and it felt really against the Doctor. Was when you might have talked about this before. I don't know. I wonder what Marty and Malene think of this, because I might have heard you talk about it, Joe. There's a scene where Graham tells the Doctor that his cancer's back.
There we go.
Oh god,
and I hated that episode so much.
Scene. Because Chibnall is fucking awkward. Not the doctor. The Doctor can't be awkward because the Doctor has to talk to every single alien race.
He's an alien.
Can't be socially awkward.
The Doctor is an alien. It's obviously okay. First off, we know the awkward thing. What does it mean by the awkward thing? The Doctor is an alien. You're supposed to know that the Doctor is an alien. It's not. It does things that is not normal for human behavior, right? Let's put it that way. But as you say right now, it's like he's talked to other aliens before, so how in the world is he awkward?
You want to know an example of that too? When fucking Clara should be dead and she has no heartbeat, right? Do you think the Doctor's like, "Oh, okay, I'm socially awkward"? He's like, "No, I'm gonna fucking destroy the universe to save your ass," right?
Do you imagine the end of time with the conversation with Wilf and him saying, "I don't know what to say to you"?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Or even Clara, when Clara betrayed him, right? He's like, "We're going to hell. Fuck it, let's just go there," right? Because she said it was important for her to want to save Danny Pink, and he's like, he didn't say, "Oh, I'm socially awkward." He's like, "Okay, let's go," right? Every doctor, even when fucking Jamie McCrimmon fucking said something to the Doctor fucking had a talk with him. He's like, "Oh, I had a family. I had this. I keep them inside of me. I think about things." Never ever was any Doctor socially awkward ever.
No,
Chris Chibnall, because he was adopted and he felt secluded and he was mad at the world because he thought that his own parents dumped him or whatever, was socially awkward. So this whole thing it's not about the Doctor at all. It's about Chris Chibnall's life twisted. So this is why he fucked up Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, but then he could write for another Doctor and make her the greatest fucking Doctor there is, like Joe Martin, because fucking Jodie Whittaker's Doctor is technically a childhood Chibnall. That he's made to believe he's special, like the timeless child, to try to explain away that he was better than his parents that gave him up.
Have you ever, the way I think about it is, right, she says she's socially awkward in that scene. Picture that scene again, but put Tennant in there. Now, what would Tennant have done?
Exactly.
Tennant would have
given even if it was Yaz, she wouldn't have said that if it was Yaz.
No.
She'd be like, "All right, Yaz, let's talk it out."
But Tennant would have been completely different. He would have give him a hug or
he doesn't even have to say anything.
But look, another example. Look at Jodie Whittaker, how she dealt with Ryan with his disability. She helped him. She's like, "You could climb this ladder. You could do this," right?
Yeah.
She did do that. She wasn't socially awkward there.
Yeah.
Right? But why does Graham she treat like shit? Right? Like Graham lost his fucking wife to fucking you. and probably more loyal than Ryan and fucking and Yaz, right? So why do you treat Graham like shit? Basically,
it was weird. It just felt so weird to me. Like that was not the Doctor.
Well, look at when they left. It was like she was upset that Ryan was leaving. She didn't even fuck Graham left. All right.
Oh, okay. All right. See ya. It's just listen. I commented this before, and it's so bad. It's so badly done. And remember that she said something along the lines like, when I remember something good, when I remember something better to say, then I'll say it. Something along the lines like that. We're still waiting. And one of the things I commented, and I thought it was funny. I'm not going to mention names, but I am going to read this tweet because I got a lot of hate for it. Just people, just the stands kind of reaching. And I mentioned this, and somebody said, talking about the Doctor being socially awkward. How is it coward? Like, she has zero arguments talking about me. She doesn't even stop. She's so bored in her dumb life. Like, the fuck, being socially awkward doesn't mean being a coward. She's so brainless. Help, she was talking about me, but it is being a coward because you're not. Instead, that's what the Doctor is not. The Doctor is not a coward. And
the Doctor's the smartest person in the entire universe.
In the entire universe, and you don't even have to say anything. She could have just hugged him. She could have said something funny to make him laugh, like to cheer him up. But to kind of look at him like, the fuck are you?
Something went wrong with Chibnall because he used to write the most beautiful shit for the Ponds and the Doctor and some episodes, and you're like,
his
wow,
ego.
This is fucking amazing, right? And then when he decided to do this, he decided to do it about his life. He decided to do it about fucking balls to the wall, fucking chaos, fucking shit. But you saw that when he wrote for Joe Martin's Doctor, it was so powerful that people that left Doctor Who came back. Fucking that guy, Ian Levine, fucking came back, fucking loved that shit, right? Holy shit. But why can't you write that way for your fucking own show every episode? Why do you have to write shit where you're pissing people off? You're pissing people off about Graham with the cancer. You're pissing people off with the Timeless Child. Every episode, it seems like he's trying to piss people off. We're stupid human beings going to kill ourselves. We're fucking dumb. Why are you doing that?
The episode with Joe Martin actually shocked me, as you say, Joe, because it just felt like those scenes with her in that TARDIS just felt right. Yes. I don't know what it was.
Yes.
It just felt like,
finally, this motherfucker's writing Doctor Who right again. Finally.
It felt like for a second I thought I was watching RTD again. I don't know why.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
That episode felt like someone else took over. It was weird, that episode.
I also loved what he did with Spyfall Part 1. I fucking loved that whole shit with the Master. But then he fucking dropped the fucking ball the second episode, which they usually do.
Sasha is good. Sasha is good. My only critique...
I fucking saw that shit. My kids put fucking Sasha Dewan's Master on a fucking mug for me because I fucking love that shit.
My only critique on Sasha is, and it's not actually, excuse me, let me rephrase that. It's not on Sasha. It's the way they make Sasha act this out. Okay, hang on. I'm sorry. Let me give this an example. Sasha is a great actor. He does a great Master. Sometimes I feel he goes over the top, but that's not on him. I feel like it's either Chibnall telling him, okay, I want more crazy. I want more.
Well, the Master is crazy.
He is crazy.
I agree with Melina though. He goes a bit too fast sometimes.
It's not his fault. I don't blame Sasha.
But it was the whole thing of trying to be the Master that fucking defeats the Doctor finally and one up the Doctor finally, right? Because he always felt he lost to the Doctor. With Missy felt basically that she wanted to be his friend, and she basically took over the world and said, "Oh, yeah, happy birthday. You have the Cybermen." It's like, oh, yeah, she knew she won, right? And she's like, I'd rather have him as a friend. Fuck it.
Can you guys explain that to me though? Because having watched the series 12 finale, is that an alternate Gallifrey? Why are the Time Lords so stupid enough to all be killed by the Master?
Well, here's the thing that Chibnall didn't do his homework.
There we go.
Yeah,
Chris Chibnall did not know that they escaped the fucking pocket dimension. Because there was the episode where he was trying to save Clara, and she's like, "How did the Time Lords get out of the?" He's like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't care at this moment. I'm trying to save you." Right? They escaped. They went towards the end of time. They parked the Gallifrey down there, the whole planet. They escaped that dimension. right? Chris Chibnall obviously didn't watch that fucking episode, so he thinks they're still in the pocket dimension, which is a paradox because it makes no sense. Why
so they're in the pocket dimension? Are they in that episode?
Yes, flat out.
Did that what they said?
Because he didn't watch it. He didn't, just like fucking Sam Raimi didn't watch WandaVision. And doesn't know that she brought the Vision back, and the Vision's the father to her fucking kids. So that way, when they did Doctor Strange, they didn't. He didn't know about the Vision, so he's just thinking the clip notes. Oh, she had kids, and she loves her kids. That's it.
That movie's another story. I wasn't a fan of that film very much.
Yeah,
I didn't watch it. Don't spoil it. I didn't watch it.
It sucked.
What I hope that I can't see it happening, but if RTD has to bring anything over from the Chibnall era. I hope he brings Sasha because I liked him.
He would have to so he can get him to regenerate.
Me too.
He has to regenerate.
He sort of already has brought something over. I mean, he's brought Jodie's TARDIS, so
right. So he's got to bring him back to regenerate him. That's it. I said the perfect scene would be David Tennant telling Sasha Dhawan's master, "You're full of shit about the timeless child, and you were never able to beat me." He pisses off the master, and he's like, "Oh, really? Well, if you could revisit faces, then I'm going to revisit a face that basically came toe-to-toe with you." And then David Tennant's like, oh, no. Like, oh. And then it's like, shh. And then you see fucking John Sim, and it's like, fuck. I fucked up. And then it's like, I would love that shit.
I noticed yesterday when they were filming, there was like pictures of them assembling the TARDIS together, and I noticed that they were putting on this like double-sided sticky tape on the inside of it, obviously for the interior card, the backdrop.
Because they didn't do it on day one; they did it on day two.
Yeah, and I wonder. I just have to sit and wonder what interior backdrop that they put on, because I hope they're not using Jodie's TARDIS.
I fucking hope we see David Tennant look at that shit and like delete.
This was in the leak, the one we were talking about with the time.
Oh,
yeah. It says, do you remember the Day of the Doctor when the TARDIS was trying to compensate between different doctors in the TARDIS? It says it's the same thing. So it says it's David Tennant's console with like the tube from the classic Doctors with the back paneling of Capaldi, with a couple other things. Like it's a mix of all different TARDISes.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I like the side of that.
It's sounding really exciting from all
like
things.
The TARDIS is fucked up, like the Doctor's fucked up because it was degenerated.
Well, I noticed that
at the end of the day, Oh wait, Marty, you go.
They filmed the TARDIS dematerializing yesterday. They filmed scenes, and like it's Donna, it's Sylvia, Sean, and Rose watching the TARDIS dematerialize,
and Wilf is in there with Donna Noble and the Doctor.
And the thing is, right, when the fans start going and when they film that scene, Rose starts shouting for Donna, like screaming for her. You can hear it on set. She's screaming, "Mom!" And I'm starting to think that does something go wrong with the TARDIS dematerialization, because she just waved her off like a couple of seconds before that.
And you were talking about this in the podcast the other day. So, like, what if all this stuff about we heard rumors bullshit, and the Master wants to fuck with Donna Noble, so he decides to regenerate into David Tennant to fucking kidnap her and say fuck her?
I doubt it, because I just think that, look, it would be a way to keep Tennant around longer, but I just think you always follow the Doctor, because if that's the case, we don't have a Doctor for these episodes.
Correct.
Then.
Yeah.
We need a Doctor.
Unless you get, right.
You got to remember, though, like, take us out of the equation. So my parents are a good example. They really only loved Doctor Who when it was David Tennant around, you know. RTD knows that part of the audience is gone. A lot of, the age 20 to 40 audience is left, the mainstream. He's thinking they're not watching. New kids aren't getting into Doctor Who. Kids don't like Doctor Who anymore. It's boring now.
No.
How do we get them all back in? So he's going to hit it back to David Tennant. The show's going to be, it's basically going to be like Series 4's next episode.
The Journey's End. It's like going to be like, fucking Stoner, Journey's End. In his
mind, End of Time just happened. Now Tennant didn't regenerate, and then he's going to become the next Doctor. His next Doctor is going to be Ncuti. So he's basically winding the clock back to when he had control, and then he's going to slowly give you the next era. Because I think in RTD's mind, I think Moffat's era went too overboard with complications.
Well, they were conflicted. If you remember, like Moffat pissed off not only his best friends in the world, but he also pissed off Russell T Davies because he contradicted stuff. And they had a fight in Doctor Who magazine, friendly fight, but he's like, that's not what happened, and that's not what. I don't know why you did that. So
I see I don't know if it was a rumor or speculation that you were all about earlier hating that the Time Lord energy went into Rose, and somehow the next bit I heard after that was that they managed to somehow stabilize Donna, like with the memories.
Well, my theory is if the regeneration energy is still in Donna, and she gives birth to a baby, it's going to be sort of like Amy Warby having sex in the TARDIS and River Song is in the time vortex. So she's going to have a full cycle of regenerations from Time Lord Law. Like,
well, I don't know if it didn't talk about anything like that. All it said was the memories passed through.
She's still going to have the Time Lord energy.
Yeah, it's very possible.
So is it the case where if the memories have passed into Rose, that only Rose, Wilf, and Sylvia know about the Doctor?
Yeah, pretty much. I think it's going to be very simple how they explain it. I think they're going to make it like Capaldi, that he's got Tennant's face again to remind himself there's something he has this face for.
But he's not the 10th Doctor. That's going to be the weirdest thing, because how is he going to act differently?
It's just the face. He's got the face. Why do I have the face?
But that's a big deal, having a completely different personality.
Yeah, he won't be that different. He'll be very similar.
Some sort of there's obviously going to be a scene where he's going to be like, "Shit, I look like how I used to look," because there's got to be an explanation as to why he's wearing an outfit very similar to what he wore before.
They can't make him too different, because then it's going to piss people off.
They'll do a Children in Need special like they did when he first regenerated in 2005, where it's him in the TARDIS sort of looking around at himself, making weird observations.
Yeah, but they still can't make him too different, because then, like I said,
it'll be very similar. But I think he has this face in story because it'll be that he needs to help Donna's daughter because she needs the Doctor, and that's why he's reminding himself, because he's going, "Oh shit, I forgot about the Nobles. I've left them behind." And then he's going to
I said also, I mean, because you didn't see the episode, the being called Time said that she can't regenerate anymore.
Right.
So the being of Time, first of all, the arrogance that the being called itself Time is just stupid. But the whole point is that the villain is stupid, because the villain doesn't understand that if the Doctor had to regenerate without regenerations, you just go to Donna Noble's doorstep, take the regeneration energy back because it's still there, and regenerate. And because there's not enough regeneration energy, Jodie Whittaker's Doctor would regenerate into Tennant, because there's not enough for a full change to a completely new person.
Yeah, I still wonder as well, how are they going to do, because they're definitely going to get Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi back before that well.
Well, I'm telling you right now, I'm still waiting for. I'm telling you, there's going to be an announcement that the Collins are back with. I wouldn't be surprised if Moffat wrote an episode, to tell you the truth.
But the budget's high. Like, Karen Gillan's very expensive at the moment.
No, but she would take a pay cut just to come back though.
Depends
Matt Lucas was almost willing to do it so dirt cheap, and that's why BBC wanted him.
As long as we get Bill back, that's the only deal for me.
Oh, Bill
We've got to get Bill back. Bill was the best.
Great.
I see.
Puddle Monster. Let's get the Puddle Monster.
Sort of what I would want to happen is that if, say Tennant, Jodie turns into Tennant lands on Earth, but I think a cool way would be to do it, instead of him saying, "Shit, I forgot about the Nobles," what if he lands on Earth, and just by out of pure luck and chance, he just runs across Rose, runs across the daughter, and she knows him, or something like that.
It's possible.
Or say she's walking.
You know what? Something else we could have thought of. It could be the Wolf's dying.
That's very possible.
And he wanted to reach out to the Doctor or something.
I noticed those last scenes they filmed where the Doctor and Donna were going into the TARDIS. There was no sign of Wilf now, unless he's already inside.
Well, there was one scene they put him in a wheelchair.
But this was different scenes, completely different day. Different day.
It might be the start and end of the episode.
Yeah, because if it's three specials, I reckon those scenes where they're going inside the TARDIS is the end of the first special. If there is,
I'm kind of hoping that there's 4 and that the Christmas special is. Like,
Yeah.
I reckon
Christmas
it'll be
never counted as like whenever they did specials, it was always its own thing.
I think if RTD's putting things back to how he wanted them to be, like he's sort of, he's reorganizing his cupboard that Moffat and Chibnall made a mess of. I think we're going to get a proper goodbye to Sarah Jane Smith that we just never had in the show.
Yeah, we need that.
It's always bothered me when she passed away that they never made a big deal about it in the show.
And you know what the weirdest thing was? Even when Davros encountered her, he fucking loved her.
Yeah.
Remember that? He's like, hi, how are you? Like, you're a fucking villain, but you like gave her respect because he fucking loved how nice she was.
I just found it weird that Moffat never did a funeral scene or something along those lines in series.
Moffat didn't give a fuck about shit. He didn't even do things with the pond. He put them on a grave title.
I think the whole thing with Sarah Jane just happened to be so unfortunate because from what I read at the time, I think they knew she was unwell, but I think it was a big shock because they weren't expecting her to pass that quickly. And it was just a bit of a shock to the point where they had a meeting about the future of the show, and they actually
they were going to call it Bannerman Road, and then he decided, no, that's disrespectful.
Within like 5 minutes of the meeting.
And now he regrets it. Now he feels that he should have did something. But I think he did the right thing because, and the thing to point out too, one of the girls from the show, Sarah Jane, isn't her boyfriend Sasha Dewan.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, Raleigh's.
And she played the villain in what was she, the Scorpion Creature or whatever she was?
Yeah, in the Nicholas Tesla episode. Wasn't it? Yeah.
I hated that episode too.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty bad, that one. And I don't want to say anything too rude, but I thought that creature was terrible that she played.
Yeah, and he doesn't know that, and he's a fucking Tesla fan, and he doesn't know the actual history of fucking.
I thought that one was worse than Orphan 55.
It felt like a ripoff of the Rock.
I didn't like the Rose episode either that he did.
I disliked Rose the episode. I
no idea.
Rose.
We did so many casts about that. He has no idea about
the
fucking
Rose.
History.
I mean Rose as in Rosa Parks. Rosa. I love Rosa Parks, and I think she is a very iconic historical figure, and I just thought that it took away from that completely.
It did, because he didn't even get permission to talk to the family about it, and he just did his own shit according to his fucking thing, and was not even accurate in any way, shape, or form. And we did casts about that, right? Because we had Vaughn in here, who's fucking an historian with on that stuff, and it was terrible. And he pissed off like so many people. Just like he pissed off they had the deal where he got money from China, and they're like, all right, we're going to give you money as long as you have an episode set to do China. He's like, oh yeah, sure, don't worry about it. Don't worry, I got this. And he fucking pissed them off with the Sea Devil episode because
used their money, and then at the very end
he shit on the Chinese culture.
Do you guys remember when you'll laugh? I reckon everyone in this room is about to wet themselves when I mention this. Do you remember the big song and dance in 2015 when Peter Jackson was going to direct an episode? And nothing happened.
Nothing happened because Moffat was a bitch and didn't fucking want the attention to take away where maybe Peter Jackson got an idea to do a Doctor Who film and he didn't want that shit.
Do you remember they did the big video where he was claiming his Oscars and stuff?
It's Moffat's fault. It's fucking Moffat's fault. That's bullshit.
That's just like Kathleen Kennedy when she just like fires every director in Star Wars that ever come through.
Watch RTD bring Peter Jackson.
Edgar Wright, I'm telling you, Edgar Wright, Peter Jackson, they're all coming in for the next series.
Well, I reckon Edgar Wright definitely.
I'm sure. Series 14, Murray Gold.
The budget is going to be triple what it was
in
like
Series 13. Millions per episode.
It's huge. Right? No, it's huge. They've taken a gamble.
The Game of Thrones type.
The numbers at Doctor Who don't justify spending much on it at the moment. However, he's pitched them this idea for a universe, and they have thrown the bucket at him.
Because they'll probably have a fucking thing about Rose Tyler, Defender of the Earth. They'll sure have a fucking one series like a Disney Plus thing.
You get Torchwood will come back.
Fucking have Meta Crisis Doctor. You have Torchwood come back. Listen, by the time he's right now, he's going to be the one to bring Captain Jack back. He's going to fix that whole fucking shit, right?
He's not going anywhere either. He's not going to leave again. I think he was that heartbroken that he left the first time. He's not going anywhere this time.
Listen, even if he's the way it is right now, because you remember we talked about how he was able to do anything he wanted with Doctor Who, but he couldn't call that woman at the end of the time his mother. and he was pissed. Remember how pissed Russell T Davies was about that?
We talked about that for
somebody
5 years.
we talked about that shit. Russell T Davies was so fucking angry that they had somebody in fucking the BBC that had say with Doctor Who that told him no, right? So when he fucking signed that deal, he made sure that it was going to be like a fucking, like the Terry Nation estate or whatever. Like, you know how they borrow the fucking Daleks and they can do whatever they want, right? And they just give money to this fucking estate and they do the Daleks, right? So he made it where he's just going to pay for the Doctor Who character and the Gallifrey and everything to the BBC, give him money, and he's going to do whatever the fuck he wants, and nobody could tell him shit, right?
Well, that's what I think. I can tell you what I think is going to happen is that I reckon that Russell will see out the 60th and the 14th Doctor, but what will happen is that he will take a back step after that, but he's going to stay on as like a Kevin Feige.
Oh, definitely.
But
also too, in case you didn't know, even though they're friends, Tech Tayoon is a fucking slap in the face to Russell T Davies because he had his own idea for the Doctor's mother. And when anybody steps on Russell T Davies' toes, he gets pissed about it. Just like when Moffat tried to say that, oh, the Doctor was just married to her, but they didn't have sex, and Russell T Davies is like, oh no, he had sex with her. Oh, like whatever. Like, what are you talking about? Oh yeah, he had sex with her. Oh, yep. I'm like, what? Yeah. So he's gonna fucking flat out say.
Well, I reckon this is going to be. He's going to have no chain on him. This is going to be insane. I reckon this error is going to piss so many people off because it's going to be nuts.
Right. It's going to piss you off.
Have an orgy with these purple and green aliens.
It's like you're going to be given a birthday cake, and then for some reason you're going to throw the cake against the wall, but then you're going to be okay about it. It's going to be so weird. Like, he's going to just be... nobody's going to tell him no. Tech Tayoon's going to be fucking thrown out as a crackpot fucking toddler with dementia. And this other one was probably his mother, that she was probably fucking half fucking human, half, or whatever the fuck they're going to do.
You're going to have farting aliens everywhere. They're going to be doing
as long as you don't listen. Here's the thing, like I said it on Twitter the other day, the only thing I'm worried about is that all the wonderful thing he's done, he still did Love and Monsters.
I love that episode.
And I'm fucking upset about that because I'm like, that is the worst episode of Doctor Who.
In comparison, obviously, in comparison, I can
to the Jodie Whittaker episode where Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor says, I don't give a fuck about the universe, fuck it, I want to know who I am. But the universe is, fuck it, I don't care, I want to know who I am. I don't care about you, I don't care about the Earth, I don't care about the universe, I don't care about 27 million billion trillion planets. I want to stay here for a while. If I die, fuck it, at least I know who I am. And you're like, oh, she's a selfish bitch.
You know, Channel.
I remember you called her a nasty bitch after that episode.
I called her a fucking selfish ass bitch. Right.
Have you guys watched Channel Pup ever on YouTube?
Yes.
Do you know that he's the kid who
he's the fucking I know. Oh, I know. That's Barry's best friend. I know. He fucking created the Zorbalov.
He made the Absorbaloff. That's
that
so
motherfucker.
Cool.
No, it's awesome? Cool. He was a kid, but he didn't know. Russell T Davies. I can't believe Russell T Davies fucking turned that to shit. That episode.
I still love it. I watched that on repeat.
I have such hatred for that episode. If I watched that shit, I might need blood pressure. Like
that got me into ELO. If I never saw that, I wouldn't have known who ELO were.
I hate it.
I can quote the whole thing. Elton, what's he called? Elton.
You know what's so funny? There was all these things that they put in Doctor Who that they never elaborated on. Remember how Moffat, you know how he makes it, like, pushes us in direction, like he wants to tell us about stuff and then he just doesn't? You know how, like, they said that Clara's fucking mom was fucking killed, well, died, whatever, abruptly, right? And she's like, I'll always be there for you, I'll always be, and then she dies, and she's at the fucking, and then crying and shit. She had a whole book, and there was one year that she went kidnapped or some shit. It's like, and then they alluded to the fact that maybe the Autons killed her fucking mother and shit.
From Rory was the master.
Right, they did all this weird shit, right? Because
ducks, where the duck pond? Where are the ducks?
Right. And Rory doesn't regenerate, but he fucking does because he doesn't die and he's okay. It's like, okay. Even the silence made fun of him.
But he remembers being Rory, but then Rory remembers being the Auton. How does
right,
Rory?
And then the fucking silence is like, here's this motherfucker that dies and dies again.
Yeah. Do you know what's good about the trends?
I lost me for a second. Even the silence that said that there's this guy that keeps dying and dying again. We'll die one more time, bitch. And they went to kill fucking Rory.
Oh yeah. Do you know what's good about the Silence arc, the Trenzalore stuff? Is that because the Doctor was on Trenzalore for 900 years and got so old, you can bring Matt Smith back for every anniversary, even if he ages.
Oh yeah,
because he just came from Trenzalore.
Right, he could have just left for a side mission and came back.
Yeah, it was 900 years. He can do whatever he wants.
On that one fucking planet.
He's got to turn up on the 60th.
Yeah, keep in mind, technically, he destroyed that planet.
Yeah, right.
Because when he revisited it earlier, it was all fucking ash and nobody lived there because his fucking regeneration energy fucked it where you couldn't grow any crops. You couldn't do anything. They had to
still there? Is the TARDIS tomb still there?
It's erased because time was altered.
Right.
Yeah. Everything was cancelled out. The fact that she told him what TARDIS to pick, that was cancelled out too because she was just basically trying to cancel out great intelligence, but her fucking interference was cancelled too.
That was the worst villain, the great intelligence.
Yeah, no build up at all. Just expecting people to know who the great intelligence was.
Do you remember when I don't know if Marty or Melina remember this, when Series 7 was about to finish, the title of, because it was Nightmare in Silver came out, but the title of the finale was just finale, even before it aired. And they accidentally sent out the Series 7 DVDs, and people found the final episode like 5 days in advance.
Yeah,
everyone got their complete box set like a week early. So the episode title wasn't even made public, the name of the Doctor. That wasn't meant to be public till it aired.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing. Do you remember Series 8 when the first 5 episodes leaked in black and white?
Yeah. Oh, please.
Oh.
Remember how some of our members never talked to me again after that?
Yeah.
Like, they were fucking angry that I fucking watched the episode early. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
I got the fucking episode in my hand. I'm not going to fucking watch it. Fuck off. Right?
I had deep breath into the Dalek, and I think I had Robot of Sherwood. I had the 3 of them. I remember that. I downloaded them.
Wasn't it like Beefhead got mad and a whole bunch of them got mad, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember because I wasn't really watching much at that time.
Fucking lost their shit. Like there's rules that Matrix Lord has to follow to be fucking Whovian or some shit.
Do you remember
thousands of videos.
Do you remember the effects weren't finished and how bad it looked? A lot of the
yeah.
But I'm sorry, you get a fucking movie in your hand, like say you got Spider-Man No Way Fucking Home early, you're not gonna fucking see it? Absolutely, you're gonna see it.
Hey, crazy. You got an Obi-Wan Kenobi in your hand earlier.
Listen, after the pandemic, life is fucking short. You definitely believe I'll fucking see that shit immediately because I might be dead tomorrow. Who knows?
Nothing. You'll not get any big leaks like that with Bad Wolf. For Russell will be out on a rampage. If something leaked like that, he would be out.
Let me tell you something. When Russell T Davies was around, you couldn't even fucking watch the episode early on YouTube.
Russell T Davies was so good. He used to just talk about
shit and everything.
He was so smart. He knew what spoilers were on the internet. So he would just talk about them and go, yeah, John Sim filmed for 9 weeks, and then he wasn't in the episode, and he went, oh, sorry, guys, I was lying.
Well, yeah. Russell is on. People laugh at me, and I said this on the forums. Russell is on. He was on Outpost Gallifrey back in the day. He is on Gallifrey base now, and I know that for a fact. He's on Gallifrey base. And I'll tell you why. Because shortly after the announcement came, everyone noticed that this account reactivated after so many years called Russell T. Dalek on the website. And within hours of it being spotted and reported on, the account went, whoop, gone, just gone. So he's definitely on there. He knows, as you say, he knows the spoilers. He knows what's out there.
He watches everybody. Are you kidding me?
And he even admitted to throwing out the some false rumors for.
Do you know? Hayden will tell you, right? Hayden. We used to do so many thousands of casts on Doctor Who, right?
Oh yeah.
There were times we pissed off. There were times we directly pissed off Stephen Moffat, right? Remember Hayden? That fucking Moffat fucking put out a goddamn fucking announcement based on what we fucking talked about, right?
Yeah.
Remember how he used to send Karen Gillan to talk to Digital Spy or fucking Arthur Darvill or whatever? He's like, oh no, River's not going to be a companion. We fucking say, oh, River Sloan's going to be a companion. Bro, it wasn't even, right? It wasn't even fucking 12 hours. This motherfucker flipped out, right? Ran to Digital Spy. They had to make an announcement that, oh, River is so special. She can't be in a companion for a whole season. She would appear occasionally. Like, we directly pissed him the fuck off. Like direct.
Do you remember when we thought? I think it was Series 7. I don't know if you mentioned it or leaked it. Everyone thought Moffat was having an affair with one of the producers.
I remember.
We fucking talked about. Yes, he.
Yeah, I remember it.
Yes, he was pissed.
You
remember that?
Yes, he was pissed.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Yeah, it was. Who was it? Who was the woman? She was like.
I don't want to.
Yeah, we won't bring it up. But
no, I don't want to piss him off anymore.
I know who you're on about.
I have to say though, when I was at the filming of Angels Take Manhattan. I saw him. He looked at me, and he just went like this, right? But he allowed. I gotta say, they allowed me to walk around and film with the old school cars, fucking from in the episode where they were sent into the past. He was very nice, and he fucking didn't say he wasn't nasty or nothing. And I gotta give it to him, regardless of what the fuck we talked about, right? He fucking just let fans be fans. And I gotta give him a lot of respect and stuff like that. So, but anyway, like immediately he's like, "Oh shit!" Like he looked at me like, "Fucking Matrix Lord," like that shit.
I actually,
Sammy Carter.
Remember I told. Let me just finish with the funny story. So that day, I don't know why I decided to wear shoes and get dressed up like an idiot. That I got there, I found out where they were filming from sources. But the problem is I got there 8 hours early. Remember that? And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
There was 2 cameramen setting up, and it was so early. So by the end of the day, one of the most last things that happened was I was walking towards Matt Smith, and Matt Smith was walking to me. We both reached out their hands. I was going to shake his hand, and the fucking cop went right between us, and he's like, I can't have you go near him. And Matt Smith felt so bad. And he's like, listen, like he was saying to people, if you hang out for another hour or 2, I'll sign autographs and everything, right? But at the time, my foot was so blistered up that I was like an old man. Like my foot was swollen because I wore these tight shoes.
You went home?
No, I had to leave. I couldn't even walk anymore. I was almost like needing a cane.
Was that just before the hurricane came and you had to stay with your friend? Remember you had to move into your friend's on Staten Island?
I moved in with my friends, and then a hurricane happened, and then I wound up having to stay at my aunt's. Right?
Yeah.
I almost died. I almost drowned. But the thing was, no, that was in April. So anyway, I went home and I was so fucked up. I had to call out for a week. I couldn't even walk. I had to call out of work for a week. I could not walk. And I had filmed all this footage on my friend's iPad. There was all these other new scenes with Amy and the doctor with this jazz band that they filmed. But I lost touch with my friend. Like I filmed it on her iPad. And there was all these scenes that they never made it to Angels Take Manhattan cut. And I'm like, wow. And I remember I was there and I'm like, oh fuck. Yeah. Crazy shit. But
see, you're lucky. You see, you got to go to the set and stuff like that.
Well, they were in New York.
Yeah,
they were in New York.
They never filmed in Ireland. They've never filmed in Ireland.
They were in fucking New York, and I'm like, holy shit.
I mean,
but I was so upset that I couldn't shake Matt Smith's hand.
You see when I sing the Ascension of the Cybermen and the Timeless Children, and they have that whole scenes when they're set in Ireland, I was like, when the fuck did they film in Ireland? I was pissed for about a good half an hour. I was like, they filmed in Ireland and I didn't know. I did not know.
There's no filming in Australia ever. It's devastating.
Do you remember, going back to the Hurricane Sandy, did you remember that people thought I died? And Sandy Carter fucking went on here and said Matrix Lord's dead. Right? Because this is the reasoning, right? Everybody knew me and they knew that I would have had to have been dead to not film anything. And every day I filmed so much fucking shit, right? That it was impossible for Matrix Lord to not film. So because I couldn't film for like a week or whatever it was, because we had no power, we had no nothing, I couldn't even charge my phone, right? They thought I was dead. And then I wanted to walk into the supermarket every day to charge my phone because we had no electricity, no nothing. And somebody reached out to me and I'm like, oh, I'm alive. And they're like, oh shit, let me tell fucking Sammy Carter, let me tell whatever. And I'm like, why did you guys have fucking I do a video that I wasn't dead. Remember that? That was.
I'm more worried that you have a Morbius toy on your wall.
This is before the movie came out, by the way. And
Did you see the interview with Matt Smith? Where
I still didn't see this. I've seen every Marvel movie but that. But this is supposed to be a villain wall. So like, it goes up.
That's a wall.
Well, look, it's called spending all my money on gaming right now. But I'm supposed to get fucking Hobgoblin. I'm supposed to get Kingpin. I'm supposed to be all filling up with the villains.
Did you see Matt Smith though, where they're like, do you want to do Morbius 2 or Doctor Who? He goes, oh, Doctor Who any day of the week.
Wouldn't that be the fucking thing you would say though?
No, right? But it's a Morbius interview, and he's actually said, no, I love Doctor Who.
Yeah, that's right.
Fuck that movie.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong in thinking this. Did Stabby Carter go over and meet you in New York, or am I wrong?
No. Jacob came to New York.
Jacob Mayles.
So listen to this story. So the funny thing was, Jacob appeared on our show sometimes, but he had, he was also one of the biggest trolls at one point.
Oh, he used to make fake accounts all the time.
Right. So he pissed off a lot. He made it where our female members had fucking created fake names and didn't appear anymore because he fucking went after everybody. Went after everybody, all the females. Remember that? He went after everybody. So what happened was, it was so bad when back and forth that his parents became aware of this. So when everything was nice and calm, he starts telling people where his hotel is. And when he said that, they were like, are you fucking kidding me? This guy was going to kill you. Like he fucking tried to destroy people's lives so bad. And then everything's okay. And he's like, oh, yeah, nobody would hurt me or nothing, right? So they're like, oh my God. So they got fucking security and everything because they didn't want me to fucking go there because they thought I was going to fucking kill him for all the fucking, beat the shit out of him, right? For all the fucking shit he did.
It was all him.
Oh, yeah. So I fucking went there anyway. So I went to the fucking hotel and I went to the fucking security office. I'm like, listen, funny story, right? But I'm a YouTuber. He's a YouTuber, whatever, right? But he was a real dick and troll. So I'm going to you guys as a security detail to let you know you can stand next to me, right? But he thinks I'm going to beat the shit out of him, like his family. But I'm not. I'm just going to meet him and shake hands, do quick videos, whatever. So you guys just stay with me. I'll fucking call him, come down. So his parents are shitting him, like whatever, right? So he's like, well, okay. So he comes down the fucking escalator, right? And it was the funniest fucking thing because they probably said to him, are you fucking crazy? All the shit you did to him, he's going to fucking beat you up. So I did a fucking video. He did a video, like shaking hands or whatever. And then the fucking security's laughing because they're like, this is fucking hysterical. And then he goes back upstairs and I fucking go home.
There were some weird people back in the day who used to come on the show. Like, because obviously you're a very inviting person. You let everyone on that wants to come on the show.
Everybody, yeah.
There used to be so many trolls who would literally find personal information about you and attack you. Like, yes. I had people messaging me, calling me a sycophant and that because I used to talk to you that I'm like a brainless Matrix Lord follower. Because when people used to fight, I'm not the type of person that gets involved because I don't like arguing. Yeah. Right. I used to keep coming on your show, and they're like, "You're a nutter. Why are you on the show?" Like, I'm like, because you didn't do anything wrong.
Sure,
you know.
A lot of people don't.
I would offer the attack too. Me and DF teamed up to take Joe.
Oh well, that was another thing. He got mad at me, Marty. Right? He wrote me this fucking letter, right? This fucking Melina probably doesn't know this. He wrote me this nasty fucking letter, Marty, right?
Huh?
He's like, you remember the letter?
Yeah, I think I do remember.
Vaguely, right?
Yeah.
He's fucking saying how much I fucking suck. And I've lost everybody. And I'm not going to grow in subscribers. And I'm a piece of shit. And a year from now, I won't be fucking anything. Whatever. And I got so fucking hot.
That was me.
Right? And I wrote I fucking said this whole fucking couple of videos. And I said, every fucking year on this anniversary, motherfucker, I'm going to run for it, Marty. And I'm going to fucking show you my subscribers. I'm going to show you how much I grew. Fuck you, right? And fucking Dr. Freedom does a fucking video where he fucking reads me like my speech like it's a movie with a fucking sound synthesizer, right? And he's like, what a piece of shit I am. Like, talking to a fan, right? So he fucking used it because he hated me, like, enemies or whatever. So he fucking used that shit to try to fucking knock Matrix Lord 2 and 2. And he fucking, said, poor Marty, the victim and all this shit. It was fucking hysterical. Fucking hysterical.
Oh,
I did do that for like a year or two. I'm like, run for a Marty anniversary or whatever. And then
I remember he called me. He called me on Skype at like midnight, telling me like you got to stay away from Matrix Lord. And,
yeah. Listen,
the
whole point was
me like, fuck you clown.
Listen, the whole point was old Doc reached out to me before we even did podcasts, right? And I was the host of Whovians podcast, right?
Who and One?
And Who and One, I did all these shows, and then I felt, well, I'm hogging up the thing, so make other hosts. And I brought my friends in to be part of the show. Dr. Freedom was a friend at the time. This one was a friend. This one was a friend. Sammy Carter, everybody. So they started hosting shows, and then he took it one step further, and he wanted to do Omega Files, like his own shit. Made the Omega Files, and then Sammy Carter, something happened with him. He was kicked off, and then he did Who Harmony. And then when that ended, I did my own, the Real Whovians cast. So for years, then it was like everybody going in their corners. Like I was still friends with Sammy, but like Dr. Freedom, that like whatever, just going his own separate thing, whatever. And then something happened. Dr. Freedom got sick or something. And then all of a sudden, he tried to take my members away on the Facebook page. I remember we're like wishing him all feel better and everything. And next thing you know, he's contacting Ronnie, and it was like a whole fucking thing about, oh, Joe's a piece of shit, coming to the Omega Files and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What kind of? And I used to make him administrator. I used to make him part of my like Facebook pages, and he was also part of Scribe's Facebook page. I'm like, what a fucking disrespect that is, right?
Oh, Scribe, I remember Scribes.
Yeah, right. So then we were enemies, right? And then we had our own group. Remember our group? And then at some point in time, members of our own group wanted to branch out and make their own fucking podcast, which is fine, called the Whovians. But they did it at the expense of trying to destroy me by, like, what happened was we had this group chat where Sammy Carter was in there, David Aston, all this stuff. And David Aston misconstrued something about, I said something to Sammy, and David Aston tried to get Sammy to flag my channel down, and he did, right? He damaged my channel because I used to do stuff with Sammy Carter to film for his show, remember? The fucking show that he had, I forgot what it was called.
Stories.
Yeah, Living the Dream Stories, right? So I used to film Sammy Carter, right? So he flagged my channel. My channel went down for 24 hours. I couldn't even see my videos, nothing. I had thousands of videos, upset. And then I was able to do the one with Robin Hood on a different channel. I did that one Real Whovians cast on a separate channel. So I flagged him back because I'm like, well, if you're going to fucking flag me, anything you have with my appearance, I don't want. I want you to take down. He didn't, so I flagged him down. So then they tried to twist it, and it's like, oh my God, this bully Matrix Lord 2 and 2 went after an autistic man, right? Which is ridiculous because it has nothing to do with whether he was autistic or not. He fucking tried to take my channel down and was nasty. That wasn't even a factor of what he was or nationalities or anything. And then everybody jumped on that. Like Dr. Freedom jumped on that like I was a piece of shit and started with, right? You remember that? And the Whovians, right, the Whovians. But then they were all a bunch of hypocrites when Sammy Carter turned on the Whovians because they didn't want him to be in there that much, and he told them fuck off. And then he threatened Dr. Freedom, and Dr. Freedom, of course, threatened him back. And it didn't matter that he was autistic because they were a bunch of fucking egotistical fucking bastards, basically. So they went after Sammy Carter. But meanwhile, I lost, right? Remember that time I lost like I think it was fucking 1,000 subscribers? I lost like fucking, because some people believed their shit. Then I had trolls making fake accounts of me. Then all this different shit happened. Like I had to go undercover because they were going after my people. So I created an account that was like an anti-trolling account, right? And with an alter ego, remember that? So it was the first Whovian tube war that was labeled. And when the dust settled, the Whovians were gone. It was just Dr. Freedom there. It was me. Sammy Carter went into gate me. David Aston reached out to me on Christmas fucking Day apologizing and fucking everything. And became like, he went out to drugs and shit, and he was like trying to come back and everything. And it was just me and Freedom, and Freedom was there whenever. And then Dr. Freedom tried to have a fight with me, trying to say something like I was in bed with Ballstreck, right? And I'm laughing because I'm friends with Bolstrick and he's friends with me, but we never appeared with each other ever, right? So I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then Connor and fucking Philip had to do a fucking conference with me to get me to stop where we wouldn't have a fucking tube war anymore, like another battle. And they convinced me not to, whatever. And that was the end of that battle war. But not before, right? But not before Freedom would put a couple of digs in his fucking videos every now and then.
And then I came along.
He used to go DF1, he used to go DF3, ML0 or some shit.
I always try to pop in when there's not a fight going on. That's when I'll try to, like, you know. I only pop in, it's not on social media, so I'll get an account sometimes just to message you to say, like, hey, let's do a show or whatever.
Right.
You know, because I just do not want to be in that.
Right, because we would have to, everybody, we had people like Sally Noble was called something else, but they had to change their name because these people were so fucking,
Viv,
what?
Viv.
Right, people had to change their names just to be on my show.
Yeah, and I don't know why. It's very harmless. We just talk about Doctor Who.
Well, because the problem is that I made so many videos and thousands of videos that people always saw me like as like in the community, Whovian community, and then people thought that I'm like the head of everything, which I wasn't, right? But everybody can make videos. It was fine, podcast. So they felt, well, if we knock out the Matrix Lord, then we're fucking in, right?
And
just
now
recently,
the amount of gaming videos you make send me up the wall. I cannot look at your feed. It's just Matrix Lord games every day. I'm just like, oh my god, how many games does this guy play?
But I'm trying. Well, I was in the mood to write books, and I did that. And I was in the mood to do so many videos on YouTube. I did that, and my new thing was, because I was always a gamer when I was a kid. I was part of the gaming generation. I stopped playing games when the kids were born. Like, I played with them a little bit, but I stopped everything I really liked. So now when they moved out of the house, and they would, not that they moved out of the house, but they always lit, visitation. But when they're older and they're doing their own thing now, they're in their 23 and 21, right? I said, I want to go back into gaming, right? I was always a gamer, right? So, and I got like maybe 100 platinums and I wasn't that good, right? I wasn't doing that many. So it was January the 1st. And I just woke up and I said, you know what? I want to be the fucking #1 fucking gamer in America. And then the motherfucking world, right? Just out of the blue, right? Fuck it, right? So I run it by my kids, right?
Joe would have loved it.
Right, they were like, you're out of your fucking minds, right?
Yeah.
They saw how much I sucked with PS3, whatever. They laughed because they kicked my ass in Call of Duty and all this other stuff. So my son Joe, he goes at the time and he's like, you will never be Hakoon, right? Ever. He's the #1 person, period, right? So when you hear that your own kid fucking doubts what you say as a dad,
you're like, nah, fuck it.
I was like, oh, I'm fucking doing this. Fuck this, right?
Was Anthony supportive at all?
Anthony was a little bit. Like, they were kind of mad because they were like, okay, go in your chair. Like, not literally, but go sit in the chair. You're old. You're done. This is our time now. This is our generation. Step aside. We're the gamers, okay? No. So I'm like, fuck that.
Just like the old dog, yeah.
Right, so I went fucking crazy, and I just, of course, like how I do it, Matrix Lloyd 2 and 2 does it. So I start, like, and people would come into my channel. So I was in a new community, and people were like, who the fuck do you think you are coming into here like this? Who the fuck do you think you are? Like, you're getting these platinums, you're getting this shit like this. Fuck you, asshole. And they were like, you're never gonna fucking do this. It's gonna take you years. You're a piece of shit, right? So I'm listening to all this, and I would be like, I like all these gamers, but I would look at them. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go after this person now, beat their titles, beat their platinums, have more platinums and more trophies, and then I'm gonna go to the next one, and then I go to this one, I go to this one. So, but I would be friends with them, but I'm like, it's competition. If I'm gonna be #1, I gotta beat everybody. But people started getting fucking hot about it. Where people are like, I'm gonna come to your house and fucking kill you. You don't fucking belong here, you fuck. And like they would like
you that pisses so many people off.
I don't know, but the person's like, it's 2:30 in the morning, right? You got your light on.
Sure,
I see you. You just went in your kitchen. I'm like, what the fuck?
Do you remember how Noel, when you and Noel fell out, Noel was going to fly to New York and sort you out and everything?
Right.
Jesus
Christ.
Yeah, I was
right, like
gonna...
because you know what it is? It's like, I mean, yeah, but then he didn't know who I was at first, and then people was like, oh shit, even he knew Bullstruck knew who I was, and it's like, oh, he's cool, Matrix Lord, whatever, right? But people just, I don't know what it is. Like people just think that I need to.
You're just such an angry person.
Am I?
Who, no?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I remember.
Oh, we're friends, me and Noel now. We're friends.
When you fell out, it was. I'm sorry to say, but it was one of the most hilarious things because Noel decided to steal. Like he started calling his podcast the Real Whovians podcast.
Yeah, I got so fucking hot about that, right?
He
goes, I lost my shit. He called his podcast the Real Whovians, and this is the funny thing, right? He doesn't know how far it went, right? I get very, Hayden knows, I get very fucking vicious. So I was going to buy the fucking domain name for the fucking TARDIS Zone. So that way when you go to type in www.tardiszone.com, it would link to my fucking YouTube page. I was going to fucking drop like hundreds of dollars and every fucking combination there was. I was because I did that with fucking Sammy Carter that time. He pissed me off. That when you typed in fucking Who Harmony, my fucking thing popped up, right? So I bought all these domain names, right?
What happened to Mike D? Remember Mike D wanted to beat the shit out of you as well?
Well, people were mad too because I bought up all the Doctor Who domain names. Like I literally spent, like I bought, so people are like, fuck, I can't use this. Fuck, right? So they have to use shitty ones. And then I was going to buy the main ones. I was actually going to go for like, there's a few that existed. But people got mad because I was doing that. Like I was like, I was making money from the books. I'm throwing it back in, whatever. So, but he got me so fucking mad that I was going to do that. And I stopped myself, thank God. But
now the only name left is Crispy Pro.
Yeah. And he used to be a subscriber to me in the beginning.
Oh, really?
All these big Whovians. I haven't interacted.
And he used to be Christy Pro used to be a subscriber to me in the beginning. In the very beginning, I think. He was a kid though. But yeah, so it just I don't know what it is when people fight with me and shit. I lose my temper sometimes. I just get fucking vicious. You just. Well, at that time, me and Noah are friends now, but he told me to go choke on a donut. He wished me to die. Like choking on a fucking donut.
Wow.
And he told everybody I was a food critic, and I'm like, he's like, he gave up Doctor Who, and I'm like, no. I was a phase, okay? It was basically it was a phase because people paid me $450 to eat donuts. So I'm like, okay, I made money.
They were trying to make you have a heart attack.
Okay, well, that's another thing now. The trolls got it wrong. I lost a lot of weight recently. I'm like a 38 waist. So people, they just started to make sure it's fat. They're fucking it up, and look at all. They zoomed in. Okay, so Sharon went shopping, right? And she bought all sodas like that I like. So they zoomed in on my fucking video game video. And they zoomed in on Who Wars on the Facebook page on my fucking Pepsi. And my Coke, and my fucking brisk iced tea, and Snapple, and fucking ginger ale. They're like, this motherfucker's gonna die. He's fucking crazy. Drinking all this fucking soda. And then every week they're like, oh my God, he drank fucking 48 Pepsis in a week. And they would see that was gone. But they don't realize like
terrible for a while.
But we put it in the fridge.
You were eating pizza every night. You were eating pizza nightly at one stage.
Every night, and then it changed, and then I started eating salad and different things, and it was like
you are looking quite slim at the moment. I've got to say.
Oh, I'm very thank you.
Sure. I'm gonna end this because it's like 5 a.m. here, but can I say something? This is so random, Marty.
Yes.
Have you seen Courage the Cowardly Dog?
I have not. No.
Ariel.
No. There is this. Okay, maybe I'll show you a video. Listen, I say this with love, but you know what you remind me? You remind me of one of the Duck brothers. You talk exactly like the Duck brothers. Exactly like them, and it just reminds me of that episode. And it says we're Duck brothers, just like your accent, just like the way you talk.
We're Duck brothers.
You're Duck brothers, and I can't help it. Hang on, let me see if I can find it.
I can't help.
I loved Courage the Cowardly Dog. I used to watch all of that.
the Irish accent's just it's just I can't help it.
I do apologize about it being late, Melina. Anytime you wanted to go, you could just go. You don't have to worry.
Oh no, don't worry. By the way, I'm awake, but I'm just saying like awake as in like hyper.
We just went into like history. That's just. Oh, another thing too. I was going for the Guinness Book of World Records with the podcast. Remember?
Yeah.
And fucking Sammy Carter flagged down my second Real Whovians that the numbering was a broke and I couldn't get.
How exactly? Unless I just did not listen to you there like 20 minutes ago, but how exactly did you fall out? Like
Sammy lost it at everyone. He lost it at me because
there was people that were trolling me from his Who Harmony chat.
There we go.
And he thought it was I put down his members of his fans.
No, but he was getting trolled, so he was being told that we were using him to pay him out, basically. Right. We were making his show for him to try to help him.
Yes, we were both helping. He brought the music, right?
I'd make him music. I'd do everything.
I was doing content.
Someone said to him, "Oh, these guys are actually not your friends," and he believed it. And now he won't listen to us at all. He just won't talk to us.
No. In fact, the whole point is I was going all over the city, and I'm like, I'm filming for the Sammy Carter Living in Dream Stories. And they were like, oh, okay, sure. I'm like, he lives in the UK and everything. But he was a great friend. We cared about him so deeply. And somebody lied to him and manipulated him. And then the thing is that he got my channel taken down. And not for nothing, but Hayden knows I did so much content and video that this channel meant more to. It wasn't just like, oh, so what? You lose a YouTube channel. I had thousands of videos on here. I had my whole life's work for how many years?
I gotta go. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's 5.
Be good.
I'm posting the video. I'm sorry. It's just you sound so much like him, Marty. But I say it with love, by the way. Please don't.
I hope we see you. I hope we see you again.
Don't take it as an offense. Please don't. It's nothing like making
fun. No.
It's with love.
You're welcome anytime, Melina. Okay.
Thank you so much for inviting me. And Marty, I'm sorry, but you're just gonna be called the Duck Brother now.
You're okay.
Not exactly like him. They like them. Like we're Duck Brothers.
Better than being told you sound like Crocodile fucking Dundee.
Listen a little bit. See? Do you hear it?
I hear it. Well, you might hear it. I don't know. We're Duck Brothers.
It's the same, my God. You sound exactly the same. And I say it with love. I repeat. Anyway, thank you so much for having me over. I have to sleep. It's not like I'm sleepy, but I have to force myself to sleep.
You're good.
Thank you so much. It's been fun. I want to do this again. Please, I want to do this again.
Absolutely. Whenever you want.
Marty, it's been fun, and it's nice to meet you. Oh, I forgot your name. I'm so sorry.
I'm a modern age nerd, you know. It's good to keep my private life private. So
okay, all right. I'll call you nerd or modern age nerd. There we go. Or Matt or man. See, MANC, man. All right. Thank you so much, all of you. It's been great. It's been an honor, and I want to do this again.
Have a great night. Thank you so much.
Take care.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
What was I going to say? It's without of my head. You were all about.
Oh yeah, so they flagged down the Real Whovians cast too.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether we're streaming our conversation to the world.
So you know what happened? There was a weird rule: you can't put the person's name in the title, and I put Sammy Carter, Cold War, and Carter or something. Sammy Carter. So, I almost lost my channel, and I was so upset. I was like, and I contacted YouTube, and because I was trying to go for the Guinness Book of World Records, there was a break in the episode, so it was like 1, 3, and it was like I didn't get the thing, and I was so upset because it was like supposed to be in a row, continuous, and not be like a break like that. So
why don't you just edit the video title?
What's that?
Why don't you just edit the video titles and then backdate them?
Because they deleted it, and I didn't have a backup copy of this. It was before, like, we did it on I forgot what it was on, and I didn't have a backup copy of it, and I tried to get it back for years, and I even said if anybody, because somebody said they recorded every Real Whovians cast, I'm like, if somebody has the Real Whovians cast 2, give it back to me, because even YouTube said if there was a way I found it and if I re-uploaded it, they wouldn't strike it this time. So, but they couldn't. They said they lost it forever. So, I just don't like having. I like having things in order. So, if I ever get episode 2 back, I'd be greatly appreciated. But, I don't know, there's just crazy grudges and stuff. And it was never me starting with anybody. It was always somebody starting with me.
You just pissed them off with your hairline. They just looked at your beautiful hairline and went, screw this guy.
Just like I piss off people with gaming now. So now the thing was, when I started getting the gaming and doing the things they said I couldn't do, then they got even more mad. And they're like, you son of a bitch.
But you don't talk about Doctor Who enough. I'll tell you as someone who watches your content.
Lately, no.
I can't find it anywhere when you talk about Doctor Who. You've got to do it. It's what you're best at.
That channel is that channel is not monetized. It's only on here.
Yeah, you've got to do it that much. You've got to do it.
Well, now that everything is, we're happy.
We're all excited. Look how excited we are.
We've been doing casts every day.
2 fucking hours out of my night to talk about Doctor Who.
Exactly. I did a cast before this.
Yeah. I want you to bring back your alter egos again, please, because I loved your alter ego.
Please don't. Please don't.
Please. Yes. What do you call it?
Joey Jupiter, Sky Havoc, Mandagor, Jorga the Explorer, Dignifacto.
Yes, Dignifacto. That's the one I loved. I loved that the most.
And fucking Jolipa, that people fucking... my own members would try to vote me not to do that character.
Joey Jupiter was the worst. Joey Jupiter, and you kept doing it. Like, Joey Jupiter was the worst one, but you kept doing videos with him every day. It's like, oh, not another Joey Jupiter one.
Dignifacto.
I even did a crossover with Sky Havoc and Puppet Lord. Remember that? Jay the Puppet.
I thought you were on methamphetamines for a while, to be honest. Because
you thought what?
I thought you were on methamphetamines for a while. Like, you went from doing multiverse Matrix Lord, then the water lesson. You're talking about drinking water,
right? It was like a weird phase, right?
Playing fucking Rayman. It's like, what is he doing?
Right. I stopped doing the fucking morning with Matrix Lord and the moving with Matrix Lords and all the things.
You turned into Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad. You just lost the plot.
What? Just tried something different and then fucking went back into fucking Doctor Who here and there, and
I mean, I can't blame you. I mean, the Chibnall era was just a time where nobody was motivation to make content, and just I remember the whole like the worst day. I think the most controversial, the most hated day I've ever seen in the Doctor Who fandom was the night The Timeless Children aired, and I mean everybody lost it. Everybody lost it.
Everyone's so mad still about that.
I mean, you lost it. Noel was crying. People like were literally
hot about it.
My mother choked on her wine watching it. I mean, she was disgusted.
Pissed.
Absolutely disgusted. And you know, I hope Chibnall does some sort of a fucking retcon now in this next episode, but I can't see it happen.
I felt like Moffat and RTD was fucking hot about it.
Like Moffat
got the job back because of how hot he was about it.
Well,
even Albert Octopus, remember Albert fucking talking about the 31 lessons and 20 donut lessons. Sometimes in life, we go through phases. This was one of those times.
I can't understand why you were doing it because it's not like your subscribership was going up. Like you were just.
I'm gonna explain to you. I'm gonna explain it right now. So I was doing the podcast with this Doctor Who group that I'm not with anymore. Well, I never was with, but their group or whatever, they were on my whatever. So they were on here, and they were saying how, because I think I was eating a donut on a thing or something. They were saying how there's no donuts in Blackpool, and it would be nice if I, why don't I just do a donut, like eat a donut and show whatever in America, whatever. So I'm like, okay, right. So I did a thing called the donut lesson, right. So I did about a couple of episodes. It wasn't even that many. So I was going to stop, right? And then I did a live stream. And people were like, don't stop. And they gave me like $100 in 5 minutes.
What?
And I'm like, oh, the donut's like $1. You gave me $100. So I did a whole bunch again, and I was going to stop. And then they gave me $450 in a 15-minute live stream. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Right? I can't stop. 400? Are you what? The profitability is incredible. But then I started getting my family members started reaching out to me concerned, thinking that I'm trying to kill myself. And they're like, I had friends that stopped talking to me that they did an intervention. Like, listen, okay, you can't have this much sugar. And then like, people, I literally had time scheduled where people would call me for hours and try to talk it out. And I'm like, it's just YouTube. It's not that serious. It's a thing. I got paid $450 to get the. Oh, okay. But it was like everybody got freaked out. So then, like, people were confused. Like, where's Doctor Who stuff? And then they think I'm a food critic. Then all of a sudden,
and you're the dentist. You're doing dental lessons and getting tooth surgery.
Well, my teeth got fucked. Right. So my teeth got fucked up eating all this sugar, and it's costing me thousands. And thank you. And
someone paid you to destroy your own body just so they could watch you repair your body.
Right, it cost more than $450.
If I were you, I would clean your whole channel out and start from scratch.
No, I can't delete 11,000 videos.
Oh my god, that is a lot of videos.
Oh my god,
11,000 videos is a lot of videos. I've never.
You shouldn't put that on a hard drive. That would be 100 terabytes or more.
I often said they could do a fucking computer. They could create a computer consciousness and use the fucking amount of words that I said in fucking 11 years and 11,000 videos. They can make me be a fucking computer program because how many words did I use in fucking 11,000 videos? I could be fucking AI. I could be its own Matrix Lord artificial intelligence.
I think we need it. I honestly think we need it.
You could just pull it from the videos.
I think that's the next showrunner of Doctor Who. It's the Matrix Lord AI.
Right? You imagine I'm fucking 90 years old, shitting in my diaper, and I'm seeing my fucking self, talking to myself like a fucking Alexa or some shit. And it's like, oh shit, that motherfucker.
No, you'll be like, I can see you at 90. You'll be sitting there on the computer in front of you, be like, welcome to the Real Whovians cast 5,432.
I've told you for so many years. You've got to get the way to get more viewers is you've got to actually title your episodes and not call them episode 3,000
by numbers. But you know how difficult that is to try to track when that happens if you don't have it by number.
If no one's ever seen the show, they're going to go, "I'm not watching episode 3,000." If you just
need a track, though.
No, you're going to date it. You're going to date it. So you're going to say Real Whovians.
Oh, in the description. Instead of in the title, in the description.
Yeah, just say Real Whovians with the date and then the subtitle of what you're talking about.
So the number throws people off.
This channel has not grown steadily for 5 years. We need to get
I know. I know. It's not like I tried hard enough because drinking water and donuts, that's not really right.
But the only reason you got any views was because of my Justice League review in 2017.
Well, you remember you made me the fucking Whovians cast must end? With the fucking music and people love that shit.
What was this, Albert? Joey Jupiter for next showrunner and guest writers fake host and Memory.
Memory, Jesus.
Oh God, don't get me started.
And people love the Who fight. Me fucking fight with Memory too. That was another thing.
My name's Memory. Me.
And you know who came back? Carter Watch.
You serious?
You see that? Did you see that video recently?
No.
They did it about me.
Carter Watch. Are you serious?
Carter Watch is the one that they got Memory on the fucking cast.
Chameleon Tours.
Oh my God.
No, Carter Watch. They got the guy from Carter Watch got Memory on there. What?
I think it's Chameleon Tours is Carter Watch.
No, it was two guys. No. It was two guys that when they went after Sammy, I fucking threatened them and shit. With legal action. With lawyers.
You, when you're like, it's crazy out here, and you're like in the fucking battlefield.
with the Hurricane Sandy and the fucking towels from the house are fucking trying to kill us. And I'm filming in the hurricane. Remember that?
They used to make edits of anything you did.
Right.
Oh my God.
Chameleon Tours is around somewhere.
Do you remember when there was the chicken monster in Doctor Who?
Yeah, with Sammy.
The Christmas special. There was going to be a chicken monster.
But didn't he have a song? Didn't he fucking sing about me?
Oh yeah. What happened here? Didn't he like suddenly decide he was having a music career or something like that? Sammy, like he don't.
All I know is, listen. So all I know is, I think it was a couple of years ago, and I said to myself, "Man, it's been like so long since I talked to Sammy Carter, right? Let me try to reach out to him and piece the ways." So I know that he's a gamer on Twitch. So I followed him, and I tried to talk to him, and he got so fucking mad. He blocked me on Twitch because you have a better chance of contacting Joe Biden president than you do Sammy Carter. You can't reach him.
It's true.
So I don't like things like that don't end well. Like I really wanted to talk to him and try to explain to him because I was like, look, David Aston's here. He admitted he started this whole shit. He duped you. Could you talk to me? But he didn't want to hear it. He don't want to talk to him anymore.
Michael Shannon still won't talk to anyone either.
What was that song? He done a song called he done like a cover of, was it like a
Naughty Boy?
No, Don't You Worry Child, Swedish House Mafia or something like that.
Yeah, it was Live the Dream. Like, so right, this is what happened. He was doing agriculture at college for a while, and his cousin was like a musician, and they rented time at a studio because his cousin had a band. So his cousin helped him make a song. So he made a song and it was called "My Time at the College Today." Do you remember?
Oh my god,
it wasn't bad. But then he did "I'm a Naughty Boy." So
and he goes, and Joe writes books and like it's
We made an album and it was called like I don't know, Naughty Boy or something. But then I convinced him. I said, Sammy, fuck it. The people are hungry for it. We've got to make a Christmas album. So we did the Sammy Carter Christmas album. Where's My Christmas Girl? And it went off. It honestly was huge.
He done the one with, what was the one he was chatting about WrestleMania? Was that like Living the
Dream?
He
did. It was called Live the Dream. It was a cover of Don't You Worry, Child, and it was there was a boy who wants to go to.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
Live the dream.
I miss that shit so much.
Oh,
Sammy Carter, if you're watching, please
get on.
Come back. We'll talk to you. Piece the ways, please.
We've tried this for nearly 8 years.
Never had a problem with you, bro. People made us enemies. It was terrible. And I tried. There was one time I was mad, and I was like, "You can't listen to these fucking people," and he took it the wrong way, and I do apologize, but. Jesus, we got to get Sammy Carter to talk.
The last time I spoke to Sammy, I was a minor.
Right.
I was 17. I'm now nearly 26. He still hasn't spoken to me.
No.
I've never had a conversation with him.
He could probably be married with kids for all we know.
I think Sammy's good old Sammy. Like, most people don't change if you don't see them for a while. I think Sammy would be classic Sammy still.
No, he's his own YouTube channel and all. He has his own channel. Do you know this?
Yeah, he doesn't do many videos like of his
gaming. He's on Twitch. He just does Twitch gaming.
He just does a lot of voiceover work. He doesn't do much like streaming.
I haven't seen Matt. I haven't talked to Matt Edwards in fucking years.
Yeah, we're gonna get Matt on. Remember last time Matt was on with Beefhead and I came on and they lost their shit. They were like, "Oh my bloody god!" Matt
it was so weird that time. Everybody's coming back.
Because Matt was writing.
I'm not like a dick. Like even if we had like rivalries, I wouldn't be like, "Oh, you can't fucking." I'm not an asshole. As long as
maybe we should just start a Facebook Messenger group and try to reach out to a few people.
I want people to come back, but no, I don't want people to come back to fucking fuck with us and fight. Like some people would, you know what I'm talking about. But like, I don't want that shit. But I listen. Anybody who wants to come on the show, Russell T. Davis is back. You want to talk about Doctor Who? You want to do real Whovians? That's fine. If you don't, that's fine. Anybody's welcome.
There's lots of people out there who deal with trolls every day, but they thrive. Like Ferries deals with heaps of awful people all the time, but he keeps going and he does really well. You know, Crispy Pro, I'm sure, has his haters, but we love Crispy Pro.
Right.
Tell me this. Oh my god, it's just went out of my head. What was it?
Start a Discord for the real Whovians?
No. Flippin' Scribe. Where's he these days?
The Scribe.
I spoke to him last week. I think he's done with Doctor Who.
Really?
Nah, he's back. He's back. Come on.
No, I think. Well, no, maybe with David Tennant. I'm not sure, but
we're all back.
When I spoke to him, I think he was done. But I'll talk to him again.
See, this is so good, right? Because when we used to do Marty you'd even probably know this, when we started doing casts, the RTD era was over. We've never done casts.
Right, we haven't. We use Moffat, always Moffat.
We were always mad at Moffat, right? Could you imagine?
Imagine us being positive about shit. Yeah.
A positive cast in RTD's era. I think RTD2, get on the cast.
Listen, all you guys are watching, if you missed the Real Whovians cast, if you missed people that have been on here before and you want to make some moves and make some comments or whatever,
we'll have
make this video have over 1,000 fucking views, whatever.
The first, when we review the first episode of the 60th anniversary, it's going to be hosted by Dignifacto, and everybody's going to be on it.
You like Dignifacto, huh?
I love Dignifacto.
We need Matt Edwards.
Well, we still have to review the Centennial.
Oh Christ, that.
Yeah, I think it'll be all right. I don't think it'll be too bad.
I hope it's not bad.
It's 90 minutes.
I'm trying to be positive.
Albert, I sent you a link. Is that the same email that you had? I sent it to you way before. I don't know. Maybe it's different.
We need a talking stick on the show in future, though. Like, and we need.
Albert was a fucking minor like you. Remember?
Who?
Albert, what are you now? In your 20s too, right? Aren't you like? Remember Albert, Octopussy? Do
you remember Joshua? What was he called? Joshua. He was like a little kid. He was like 6.
What?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Joshua Jones or something. Joshua.
Yeah, and he was
some shit.
Yeah, like.
And I was like, I can't be young. I was like, you're too young. Like.
Yeah, that's what my parents are like. Like, why are you speaking to this 40-year-old?
Well, that was the thing. Was all these rules. It's like, and I didn't know. Like at the time, like I'm talking to you, and it's like they're like, you can't talk to people. Remember, old doctors like, these people of certain ages, you can't talk to them. I'm like, oh shit, who knew?
But you don't have your heart's not a heart that thinks like that. You're very innocent.
Right. I had a big heart. I just cared about who.
You're very innocent. You look at life.
I'm a dad, so I'm like, okay, yeah.
Well, I've been watching you since I've been like 13, and I'm 22 now. So
yeah.
It's I've been here for the long haul. I might have trolled you on the way, but I'm still here.
Right.
Are you actually 22, Marty?
I am 22. Yeah.
Don't hit me for this. I fucking thought you were like 60.
His voice. That's why.
You've the deepest voice I've ever heard.
No, I'm 22.
You're older than him, nerd.
Oh my god! I thought you were like the old Doc, you got Peter Capaldi's voice. So I've just put 2 and 2 together that you look like Peter Capaldi.
I wonder how he's doing. I wonder how old Doc. You watching this? I wonder how you're doing.
I'm 22. I've always had like a deep voice. It's just like the part of Ireland I'm from is very
amazing,
very deep accent, very like real rural, just like country boy sort of bred into me. That sort of type of accent I have.
Wow.
I'm up north. Noel's down south. Noel's Dublin. I'm up in the north. So
we got to get Matt Edwards back. We got to get.
We're going to start a Discord.
Definitely.
We're going to get Monk back. Sally, Susie, Vaughn.
I'm telling you, get a Discord going. I'm serious. I've actually got Discord open in front of me.
Yeah, that'd be great.
My son Joe's been trying to get me have a Discord for fucking ages. I don't even know.
And you get lonely sometimes as well. You like to have a community to be a part of.
That's true.
I don't know. I liked used to coming home from school and having people to talk to on Skype.
Yeah.
As a kid, I never thought it was weird that I was talking to older people either. It just felt normal to me.
Right.
And I think that's because it was such a welcoming community, and
Well, after a while too, then I was like, because everybody's, I was like, I can't talk to anybody like super young on here until they get to a certain age, like Albert, right? Now Albert's 20. Albert can fucking do casts every week now.
We're so fucking old now, like.
I reached out to Scribe.
Yes, I have Twitter and Instagram.
I reached out to Scribe and I was like, "Can I come on?" I was only like 10, and like. At the time he told me no, and I was pissed off. But now looking back at it, I understand why.
Yeah, you have to understand because with all the trolling, too, people made a thing out of it, so we had to change the rules and we couldn't have just anybody on.
And it wasn't fair because people
took advantage, especially enemies of me. They tried to like manipulate shit. I mean,
and it wasn't fair. So many girls came into the show, and there were so many creeps who used to they would just attack the girls, and it was
I couldn't have that. Yeah.
But now, look, obviously, I think we're all a bit wiser and older with the internet, and I think I think, we're a bit more mature and we know a scam when we see one.
Right. 18 and older. You got to be on it. Yeah.
Yeah, because we go off. We're swearing every 3 seconds, you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let my kids...
They flag these videos all the time now. I have to put in a request and then re-monetize it. It's so weird.
Yeah.
What creeps? I'll not say who, but I know who you're referring to. I'm not going to say who, but there's a guy who was pretty big back in the day. And something came out about him. If you know,
we're not. Look, there's been people that have been on the show that became super enemies and super villains that they went so far as to try to destroy every aspect of my life, even get me fired from previous jobs. They tried to, and find out my phone number, and it got really bad. Where
some of the things they said about Sharon, I remember, was awful.
They did some stuff with that. They contacted my medical job that time. And after a while when stuff happens, that's why things change with the YouTube channel, and it's like I didn't get busy with shit, and that's probably why you probably had like donut lessons and water lessons, but now we're going back to
at least you were making up for all that sugar consumption when you were having water lessons, like it balanced it out.
What you see on the channel for like 2 minutes, there's 24 hours in a day, so obviously I'm not eating like all day long like that. It's like having one donut. And what the funny thing is, when I had the donut lesson, I didn't even eat complete the donut half the times. I had like a couple bites
for the rest of the day.
I would throw it out. I would have a couple bites and throw it out. So
I was picturing in the shower with spaghetti and donuts.
Jesus.
Oh, I love you, Staten Island, my favorite place on earth.
Jesus. They convinced you I died? My God.
What?
I took a few days off.
I remember you dying a few times.
I
think I was dead for a while. There's a Rest in Peace Modern Age Nerd video with Elton John playing.
Do you remember when you were trying to build your channel, Nerdtopia, right? And you remember somebody gave you a fucking dislike, your first ever dislike.
Deleted the channel.
You deleted the whole fucking thing. You were so upset.
I had 12,000 views on a couple of videos, and I was like, nah.
And that was one fucking dislike. Can you imagine the trolls?
You can't see dislikes anymore.
But I'm saying, and I told you, don't do that. Don't delete your channel when you were just done. You were a kid, and it hurt you, and you just. But
that was. I think that was the thing that there were some nasty people back in the day, and it does damage. When people.
Of course.
It does a lot of damage.
Look, it took its toll on me too. That's why sometimes I just didn't do videos for a while.
But I think if you're a stronger community, and I think it's harder for people to get in when the community's barrier is strong. And I think you need to really, because you're very welcoming, you let anyone come in the show. But I think you need to be stricter on who you invite into coming in the show. I think you do need to find out.
Well, I knew Marty and I knew Melina, so
yeah. You got to find why is someone coming on this show? Like, are they here to just take the piss, or are they here to
like me, Marie, that time? Yeah, he would be to take the piss.
Yeah. But I think start the Discord. If this is live. We're still talking publicly.
We got people watching too. That's the funny thing.
If I ever go for the showrunner position on Doctor Who, you have to delete this channel.
Oh, God.
I know. Well, right. I said that too. Like, if I ever wrote for Doctor Who, that would be the funniest thing. That the people that hate my guts. Well, would you imagine that the people that hate my guts? Yeah. They would have to review the fucking episode that I wrote. They would have to eat their fucking mask or hat.
God.
But the thing is, right? I've said this to Noel. I was like, because that's what I'm doing. I'm doing media. I want to be a producer. And like, if I end up producing Doctor Who, Noel and you are going to have to delete all these streams.
Yeah.
Well, I'll put it in private. I won't delete it.
Yeah. But that's obviously why you don't go on YouTube with your full name broadcasted to society.
Right. Well, look at how that time, me being myself and Matrix Low 2 and 2 pissed people off enough to try to destroy my real life fucking venture with my books. They did 23 negative reviews on Amazon. I thought launch of my.
If you prevail and keep persevering, they get mad and they keep going after you because it's like,
well, look at the gaming. People losing their shit. People losing their shit about the gaming. I've come a long way to go. What?
2.5 hours.
But I did a podcast before this.
Oh, you need some sleep.
Yes.
We're going to start the Discord server first, though. We're going to start getting.
I think Joe will run it because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And
Joe want to come in, does he?
Joe, no, he's sleeping now. But I'm saying like Joe would run it because he talked to me about trying to get a Discord going for a while, and he would probably run it for me.
Get them going, get it up, and get.
I'm not a technical person. They're all technical, and but Joe's 23 and Anthony's 21, so it's like,
yeah.
He's going to be 24, and Anthony's going to be 22.
I can make it tonight, and I just send you the link.
Go for it.
I want to let Joe do it because Joe talked about it. So
yeah, he's excited to do it.
I mean, he wanted to do it at one point. I don't know if he still wants to do it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know. It took me how many years just to create a fucking graphics.
Are you on YouTube or like YouTube? Any socials hidden? Are you on anything or?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you
don't say right. Yeah, look, my partner sometimes tries to get me onto a Snapchat, but Twitter, I just gives me anxiety. Like it's just arguments. It's like a battle zone on.
Oh, I don't try to. Yeah, that's just.
And Facebook's that's what my grandpa uses to look at the trades and to buy things from the secondhand market, And then Instagram's just everyone living this fake filtered life that everything's sunshine and rainbows. It's like, I'm good. And I enjoy things more when I don't watch reviews of things all day and I don't read things. I enjoy things so much more. Like if I don't read about feedback and criticism of like The Timeless Child, I just watch it and go, oh, that wasn't too bad. But then when you read about it, you're like, oh my God, this is the worst fucking thing of all time. You got Nerdrotic. Oh, the social justice warriors are trying to poison
you got to control what shit half the times.
Yeah.
It's everything is the MCU without even seeing the fucking. I used to watch this stuff sometimes, but then when I found out that he never fucking watched Supergirl and he's reviewing Supergirl, but he never watched it for like years, I was pissed because he admitted it, and I'm like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me?
It's the same with all of them. The people who
how
are
could you not see it and review it?
Yeah. If anyone's criticizing Ncuti Gatwa, they're not even going to watch Doctor Who for the
first. That's it. Because that's what I'm pissed about. The fact that people are already writing off the era before they've even seen an episode.
Yeah, they've never watched it, and it's like, oh, of course they cast this guy. What's next? There was a news article. Like, what's next to transgender? And it's like, nice to know you're just blatantly racist now.
Right.
Like, it's not even hiding it anymore. Now it's just straight up like, oh, at least it's not a woman anymore. Like, I just can't believe
when they made the announcement of Ncuti Gatwa, I was happy. I was like, okay, even though I didn't see him in anything, I'm like, when I saw him talk about it, he's so passionate about it. Like, he's like, knowing how respectful the show is, and he wants to honor it. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to give this guy a chance. I think he's going to do great.
It's very similar to the Matt Smith casting.
Yeah.
Very similar.
I don't think they would cast anybody that would want to fuck up the show, honestly.
No.
No.
Not unless you were like.
I think it was heavily thought out, Not
unless it was the Matrix Lord AI.
Yeah, imagine that. Supervision in the future.
Joey Jupiter AI is just out to destroy the show.
I think the fact the way
That reminds me, I still didn't upload that donut lesson. Oh, well. I had a fucking thing set on my phone the past couple of days, and I'm like, just doing the real Whovians, and I'm like, oh, I got the donut lesson. Oh, shit. Maybe I'll move that stuff to the secondary channel that I never fucking put anything on there.
Yeah, there's just too much junk going through my feed of gaming.
Well, that's the gaming channel.
Yeah. No, sometimes it comes up on the main channel.
Sometimes I put stuff on here, yeah, but the gaming thing, it's a big thing now.
Well, it just makes it easier for the viewer. Like, if this is just Doctor Who related channel, it makes it easier for subscribers, because subscribers know they're getting a Doctor Who discussion every time there's a new video.
Right.
And I want the donut lesson, don't get me wrong, but maybe it should just have its own channel.
Can we just maybe the decision will be all reviews go on to channel 2, because I don't do anything with that channel.
Can we combine both? Can we eat donuts and review Doctor Who or talk about Doctor
Who?
No. And drink water.
I drink water. Yes.
No.
I just thought you'd run out of ideas When drinking water became its own show, I was like, he has run out of ideas.
No, but it wasn't even I ran out ideas. It was just a phase.
Yeah.
Basically.
You don't drink water anymore? You done now?
No, I got water again.
Oh, so it's not a phase. Back.
No. I got 3 bottles of water here. 1.
You should do a live commentary to Morbius.
2. I'm putting one right here. And there's 3. Here's just
live commentary to Morbius.
Drink. Why don't you do coffee? Do you do coffee? No. Do you like coffee?
I mean, I don't have a machine near me, but yeah, I could. Yeah, I got my. Anthony built me this desk. It's so awesome. It's like a command center.
Coffee.
It's perfect for podcasting.
That'd be good. You should review the whole series from Rose up until now soon.
Oh, you mean just go back and just do it?
Do a rewatch every episode once a week. Give the do a Discord. Give the whole crew a chance to watch.
Oh, but it is a phase when I have 11,000 videos. Doing 100 videos or 200 videos on water is a phase. Because, right? Like, what am I at? Am I at 12,000 videos? Maybe.
Well, yeah. Just do, like, if you rewatch the show, do a cast once a week. Give everyone a chance to watch it. Then Sunday night, everyone talks about it. See, that's the thing. It's like, it's very hard now to get everybody together. It was easier before, but after this whole pandemic and everything, it's just weird. Yeah, just schedule it and just tell them on Zoom or on StreamYard at 9 p.m. every week we're going to be doing a cast. Whoever comes in, comes in.
We'll try to do something. It's hard to schedule anything because we're always doing spontaneous shit.
The water cup.
Like later, Connor will reach out to me. Something happened on Doctor Who said we're doing a podcast.
I think aren't they wrapped there now in Camden?
No. They're filming tonight at 6 p.m. They're doing a 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. shoot.
Ooh, very exciting.
You guys are 5 hours ahead, right?
They're doing it's 10. It's almost 10:45 where I am.
It's 8 o'clock at night here on Wednesday night.
I've been doing a podcast the whole night while she was asleep. That's crazy.
But they're filming from 6 p.m. my time to 6 a.m. So I don't know how that works out for you.
It's another 8 hours away before they actually get going.
Yeah.
All right. So this is what's going to happen. I have to get going.
Yes.
So you're going to see. I'm probably going to have some gaming stuff up on here because I was playing Crash Bandicoot before. And maybe a donut lesson or not. I got to decide what I'm going to do with donut lesson. Maybe I'll just move it to the second channel. I don't know. How
are we going to title the episodes? How are we going to title the Whovians cast?
We did a rebrand here. This is going to be a rebrand.
All right, so I have it titled right now. The time. What did you call it? The
Timefall Doctor.
Timefall Doctor. I think I titled it that, but I have a number.
The boomer. I thought Marty was a boomer. I'm shocked.
So I should title this what then?
Oh, this one's fine.
Just leave the number. This is the 885 1,800.
We don't need this. We don't need this one racking views up. I feel like we just talked way too much for way too long.
So going forward, I'll put it in the description. We'll still call it the Real Whovians Cast.
Yeah.
But we'll just put because we don't even know what we're going to talk about half the time. We know it's going to be 60.
I needed to put the title of the video only needs to be the topic. Like, look at Crispy Pro or whatever. It just needs to be Shooty Gatway is the Doctor, and then you do like the slant, and then
right because they know it's the Real Whovians Cast.
Yeah, just do Shooty Gatway is the Doctor / Real Whovians Cast in the description. It says the date it was uploaded, and then you just write the episode number in the description.
Okay.
Because they're not going to binge the show. They don't really need to know the order. They just need to know what the topic is.
Right.
Yeah, because then anyone can watch at any time if they've never seen the show. Anyone can.
And then we have to work on hashtags.
Yep. You need a new profile picture, not just 11's interior of his TARDIS.
I have all fucking my cards made up like that too. I fucking never even use.
You've got to be like you know.
Fucking subscribe to Matrix Low 2 and 2 and shit.
Is that Comic Sans, the font?
Is it what?
Have you used Comic Sans as your font? Did you get sued because you stole the BBC's photo?
Now we're gonna get fucking flagged. Nah. Imagine.
Nah, they don't. Imagine if they had the time to watch this.
Oh fuck. Imagine.
Chris Chibnall's not. All right, we've got 2.5 hours to spare. Let's go watch some fucking real Whovians.
Right? I fucked that show up anyway, so let's see what he has to say. Yeah.
RTD was just sitting in Bad Wolf with Julie Gardner and Jane Tranter at the minute watching this live.
I believe they got Phil Collinson back.
I actually, besides doing a video before this, I did a video earlier with Connor and Philip. And that was pretty interesting. They thought I was going to get canceled for what I had to say on there. So that was crazy.
Oh my God.
Wow. Well, I better eat some dinner because it's getting very late.
It's morning. It's 5:45 in the morning, so I better stop. All right. I got to work later. Yeah. I got to work at 3 o'clock, I think. I think I got to go sleep first, yeah. All right. Thank you, guys. It's been fun doing the Real Whovians cast, as always, and having Hayden back on, Modern Age Nerd, and Marty. It's been awesome. And we had Melina, so that was great. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the Real Whovians cast. If you want more, let me know. Reach out to us and give us a shout out or whatever, and much appreciated. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a great night or morning. Take care. Bye for now.
Bye.